Okay. Oh, goodness. It has been a busy past couple of weeks, but it has been a lot of fun. I hope you guys can hear me. That's actually probably a little loud. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm not distorting a whole bunch. 1 second. Goodness, okay. Alright, so let's, I guess I should explain myself a little bit. Let me take a look at what was typed after I did the audio there. I keep wanting to play Battlefront 2 again, the newer ones, but it's literally over 100 gigabytes. So much space to take up. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's a ton of... So I have a thing, and I think a lot of gamers have this... I think a lot of gamers have this preference to have physical media in general, but I think especially of games that they really like. I'm a big Star Wars fan, huge Star Wars fan, so I almost always get the super massive editions of that. Although Fallen Order had this really awesome press edition that I thought was really nice. And the press edition version came with a heavy replica Cal Kestis lightsaber and wooden box, and it was awesome. So yeah, I haven't gotten to see Solo yet. The Mandalorian is what I got to check out next. Heard so many great things. Yeah, Mandalorian has 2 seasons, obviously. I'm sure you already know all that. They're both phenomenal. They do definitely ramp up in intensity, so starts off a little kind of slow and you know, making you care about people, but it ends up really awesome. And then the Clone Wars came out with, obviously, season 7, which was just before the Mandalorian or during season 1, and this 7th season's really good. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Sounds clear. Oh, perfect. Good. Battlefront 2 launched so poorly, but they did improve on it a lot. Yeah, it was a really interesting situation. EA really seemed to want to, I don't know why, but they really wanted to do the microtransaction thing. And I'm not sure how it went worldwide. I do know here in the States, we actually had independent states of the U.S. petition against EA in the Battlefront 2 case that the loot crates, because you could receive duplicate items and you would run a risk of basically getting something that wasn't worth the money, duplicate items that you couldn't use. It was technically gambling because the person that was purchasing the loot crate could technically lose. You could technically get a bunch of duplicate things you already had, and that money that you spent on them was gone. So there was a big court battle here between some states and them, and they did ultimately have to fix that. But they did fix it. They did a lot better on it. And I like the story of it. I thought the story was really nice. So, all right, so I guess what I'm going to do really quickly here. Oh, I better get the microphone so it's actually pointed at me and you can hear me. That's better. Okay, cool. I'll go ahead and move us over and I'll kind of explain what I'm doing and kind of give some disclaimers, I think, beforehand. 1 second. I'm going to scoot this off here so I'm just nice and off axis. If you hear some rattling around, that's me talking. I'm going to scoot over the microphone just a little bit so that I'm talking off axis, but you can still hear me, hopefully, nice and clear. I think they'll make a Battlefront 3. They did sell incredibly well, absolutely. They did a good job, too, of Squadrons, which was really, really cool. It's not a full-price game. If you get a chance, I highly recommend it, especially if you're a big fan of the space battles in the classic Battlefront 2. I highly recommend it. They definitely focused on trying to make this like uber realistic, this like hyper realistic space battle simulator. It was really, really cool. Yeah, there's been a lot of loot crates over here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I imagine as much. I can't remember which states decided to go in on it, but yeah, they actually created a series of lawsuits over it, and I think, personally, rightfully so, just because to me, if you have the potential to lose the money that you invested in the game, it is gambling. And this is coming from somebody, by the way, I'm sorry if you're hearing the clickety-clacks, I'm putting batteries in the controller. I'll show all that in a minute, but there we go. Are we good? Yeah, we're nice. That's good. So anyway, yeah, if you can lose the money that you're investing in a thing, in a product, and have no discernible benefit from it, yeah, it's gambling, absolutely. And this is coming from somebody who, by the way, is not anti-gambling. I do the card stuffs, right? It's just, I think that there's an arena for gambling, and there should be no, the term I've heard for it, which I believe is I believe it's an English term, is jiggery pokery. There's a performer that used that when it came to a gambling demonstration. I think it's hilarious, but it's definitely, no, there should be no deception, right? If somebody's going to gamble, they should know they're going into the arena to gamble, and if somebody's, going to make a purchase of a microtransaction, they should be able to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move things over and offer a couple of disclaimers, kind of let you know what I do and don't know about what I'm doing, what I'm trying to accomplish here, and hopefully you guys are happy to be in for the ride for a little bit. I'll move us over to the HD game screen, and you can see I'm actually going to be playing some Ninja Gaiden. So the Thumb Brothers put out, I think, a challenge or an issuance, and I'm not entirely positive as to what the entirety of that is. But they put out a challenge for Ninja Gaiden, and I believe it's to see how far you can go without dying and without using ninpo or sub-weapons, essentially. I am not a seasoned ninja. I mean, I love Ninja Gaiden, don't get me wrong, but it's not a game that I go to every year. I've played and passed it maybe twice in my entire life. And so I don't play it very often. So what I intend to do on this is practice a little bit if I'm allowed to do that, then play through as far as I can possibly play, and then once I get to a point where I'm just like, then we'll play some just other random retro games, kind of hang out, and it's been a really, really busy couple of past weeks, so very good, but very busy, and so it's really nice to kind of get to come back and play some games. I've been doing the card stuffs, specifically. I did the TikTok video just because it's really easy for me to carve out 15 or 60 seconds to make a TikTok where I do a cool shuffle and still get content out there than it is to kind of put aside, excuse me, a couple of hours. But I want to come out here and game too. I really enjoy doing it. Full disclosure, another full disclosure I suppose I should offer is I am playing this on the Wii versions. This is a Wii U. This time, the date is correct, the time is not. It's about an hour and 10 minutes behind. It's 2:08 p.m. over here. No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I missed something. It's 50. Actually, I'm completely backwards. It's 50 minutes. That's weird. I could have sworn it was... No, it's not. It's 1:08. It's 50 minutes ahead. Sorry. So. Oh, Fazanadu. Nice. But anyway, I have these, and then if anybody obviously is curious, in addition to these, I have the actual cartridges and all that. It just seems like it'd be easier to reset as I need to through a virtual interface here. I will also be playing with the original NES controller, not the original NES controller, but the NES controller that came with the NES Mini. I should be able to play that pretty nicely. See, I don't even know. I'm going to close this and see where I am. Yeah, I'm on stage 2. I have absolutely no idea. Well, that's probably not right. Let's move us over to the retro game screen there so we have some nice little borders to... There we go. And we'll just reset, and we can reset this way. So I hope that that's the case. I will like I said, I'll let everybody know this is not a game I'm good at, so it's going to be playing and practicing and trying not to use Ninpo and all that kind of good stuff. Probably not going to do great. But I thought, why not? It'll be a lot of fun, and Thumb was kind enough to allow me to participate. I think the winner gets some pretty cool stuff. I think it's actually a competition, and I think the winner gets a pretty cool a choice of some pretty cool prizes. I don't anticipate I will be the winner. You can play the NES Mini Controller on the Wii U. Yes, you can. You can actually you can use it on the Wii or Wii U via the Wii Wands, which will pair with both of those. And if you decide you want to use them, I like them with the Switch as well. You can actually make a purchase. I think it was $10 or $20. I can't remember which. It's been a couple of years. But you buy this little... Save Dex Gaming says, howdy. Hey, welcome, Save Dex Gaming. Thank you for dropping in. I apologize for my my absence all around, so I'm very appreciative that there are still people that are willing to pop on the channel and say hi to me after the extended absence. Yeah, so it's definitely really handy. You can also do it with the SNES Classic controllers for Super Nintendo games. And then if you, it's $10 or $20, but there's also a company called 8BitDo, that's the number 8, BITDO, and they make a little adapter you can plug into your Switch dock and play your classic games, the classic games the Switch has, on NES or SNES. So if you're interested in that, I wouldn't say I'm a purist, I'm certainly not, but if you feel better playing with the original controller, like I kind of do, then that's a thing. Never beaten it though. That's okay. I have beaten this game I think once or twice. The idea in this particular, like I said, right now I'm practicing. I guess I really need those because that's all those are going to have in them. All they're going to have in them is going to be a Ninpo that I can't use. Yeah, so the idea is the Thumb Brothers has issued. I didn't realize the knives could hit me anyway. The idea is that I'm trying to get through this without dying and without using Ninpo, I think is the issuance. There we are. And I don't play this game super often, even though I really like it. Son of a gun. And of course, Ninja Gaiden, oops, excuse me, had something in my throat there, is notoriously hard. Gosh, I really missed playing the NES, though. Or NES games, I should say. I know I'm playing this technically emulated, but my goodness, I love the aesthetic and the music of a NES game. Whoa. Hey, Zombie, thanks for stopping in. Whoa. Son of a gun. Get on the other side, Roo. Okay, there we go. Yeah, hey Zombie, I appreciate. Sorry about that. I took a second. I appreciate you for dropping in, and I apologize to everybody. And I'm going to probably continue to do it. So forgive the me being repetitious here, but I apologize for having been absent for so long. I really appreciate everybody for stopping in and saying hi. SaveDeck says I might need to play through this soon. Get in the mood for the collection coming to Switch. I know. I'm kind of stoked about that actually. I did the, what the, that's this constant. I did a scene from that part right there as my wallpaper. I'm sure you guys can see. This is part of the Thumb Challenge. And I made Thumb's logo the head of the person behind, and then I made the, if you look really closely, obviously I put my logo in everything just because it's easy. You can look at that and say, oh, that's a retro stream or whatever. But if you look at Ryu's eyes, I say Ryu, I've always said it that way. I don't know if that's right. I know a lot of people see Ryu or Ryu. I always heard it as the RY was rolled, so it's Ryu. So if I'm saying that weird or wrong, let me know and I'll correct it. But his eyes are actually also my logo, just because I thought, why not? It's that ridiculous. Yeah, I'm excited. The Switch is such a great. Here we are, 4 years later. And by the way, 4 years is typically Nintendo's time to launch a new console. But here we are 4 years later, or a new rendition, I suppose, with the exception of handheld, I would say. And I don't know if they're counting this as handheld, but and I'm still excited about things that are coming out or have come out for it. Ah, shoot. Let's just make sure we don't. They start putting. I can't use Nimpo anyway there. Oof. Tecmo, you knew that was cheap. Okay. I apologize that I am so focused on this, and not remarkably attentive to the chat at the moment, just because of that. Son of a gun. Go away, thing. There we go. Okay. Whoops. Hold on. Just do it that way. So say, I don't think I've ever... Whoops. Nice. I don't think I've ever done it the other way where I was running up the wall, so I don't know why I thought that was the case. There's definitely some stream jitters going on here. I have an audience of people and they're looking and going, oh, you're a retro game player, are you? But you can't get past level 2-1? Oh, shoot, I forgot this part here. Okay. Nope, that's it. It's not. It is. It was. So 2-2 was it. Let's try again, though. Let's try again, if that's okay. For a first run, is that awful? Yeah, kinda. For me, is that awful? No, that's pretty good. Par for the course would be me dying on 1-1 here. Come on. So anyway, yeah, this is just a part of Thumb's Fun Challenge. I think it's really good, and I told him I wanted to participate, and then I got really busy. And I'll explain. Let me explain. I keep saying I get busy. I want to make sure I'm very clear on. I was busy getting to do some really awesome things and spend some really great time with my wife. So I didn't want it to. It's all good. It's not bad busy. There's definitely some unfun busy in there. That's just part of being an adult. But there was a lot of it was just really fun. You know, busy getting to spend time with my wife and enjoy some stuff, and you know that was good stuff. So Okay, I always forget that the sword has about 3 pixels longer than it is of potential to damage. That death jingle is engraved in inside my brain. I've heard it so many times. I know. The only one that I can say, that is more engraved in my brain than this one is the da-da-da-da-da-da-da from Castlevania. But I love Castlevania, so, I mean, like, I love Ninja Gaiden, but Castlevania is my favorite game franchise of all time. So I'm a little bit more forgiving. Also, I hope, can you guys hear the music of the video game okay? I want to check, let me check on that really quick, because it seems like that may be a little quiet. Let's turn it up just a smidge. You did say, I mean, you said the death jingle, so it makes me aware that you can hear it, but I'm just not sure if it's really well balanced. Maybe that's a little nicer. AR says, you play retro games, huh? No death, Mega Man 2 run blindfolded now. Oh my gosh. The only game, so there's a thing I want to do on the channel, and I've done it before. I did it on her channel. So my wife has her own gaming channel. She's not been active on it in a while. We've been really busy doing some stuff together, even prior to this. So I don't know when she'll go live next, but we did a thing about a year and a half ago on her channel, which is on Twitch. And she is one of us would wear a blindfold and the other one would try to play Mario, and would be able to, the one that was blindfolded would try to play Mario, the one that wasn't blindfolded would try to tell the person that was playing Mario when to, like, jump and all this other stuff. She had some trouble just because she's not remarkably familiar. She didn't really grow up with Nintendo. So she wasn't remarkably familiar with it. She did pretty good, though. I think I got to the middle of, like, 2-1, just because she was great at giving instruction and letting me know. I'm stuck. Thank you. I wasn't trying to even climb that in the first place. Ah! It's alright. When you get stuck to the wall, it's really nerve-wracking. Come on, Boxer. Come on, Boxer. Go! Sheesh. That guy's brave, though. He's willing to box you when you got a katana. That's brave. Alright, go. Son of a gun, come on. I'm gonna pause for just a second. One of us would, let's see, one of us would wear a blindfold and the other would, no, Retro, I didn't know it needs to go up behind the scenes. Yeah, we, no, we play, it's video games. Yeah, I'm letting you know what happened, what we live streamed on her channel. There's a reason it's not over here. No, it's pretty innocent. But yeah, no, so she would, one of us, whoops, would wear the blindfold, the other one would tell them where to jump or when to run or when to jump on an enemy or that kind of thing. And then we'd try to see how far the blindfolded person could get. Oh yeah, I remember you. I'm gonna go over here. Nope. Ah! They've got the military involved now. God help us. There we go. So hard to hit the ladder, the down ladder there. Okay, so that's not fair. I don't know if that counts. I'm gonna let the ninpo go away. Okay, that definitely counts. Alright, so I'm gonna say safely 2-2 is as far as I can get without dying. Son of a gun if I don't despise that, now I'm just playing through for the fun of it, just so you know. I'm sure that there are tricks, Best ninja in the world fell off a ladder that he could see the bottom of the ground on, sprained an ankle, and put him out of commission for some time. Whoops. But yeah, we were thinking about, I'm just going to play through, I'm going to say 2-2 is fairly safely the farthest I can go without dying or accidentally getting Nimpo. Ah, shoot. And that's a game over there, so then we start back here. Ah. Ah, son of a gun. Sounds funny, should do it again. Yeah, I want to do it again. I think, I hope, I mean, if it's something you guys would watch, for sure, I think that'd be fun, but it was just fun to kind of get to do that with her. And it was a lot of laughs. We did, I think, I think we did that twice. One, she said she thought would be funny if she had a drink or so in her, and one she wanted to try and do completely son of a gun if I don't just short jump that. She wanted to do completely sober to make sure that wasn't impairing her ability to do things, and son of a gun if it didn't really make a difference, because just having the blindfolds on's tough. Go. It's such a narrow window right there. So I'm gonna say up to 2-2, so technically through 2-1 is as far as I can go without having to either Ninpo or die. I mean, that's fairly short. I didn't anticipate it was going to be all that. Honestly, I didn't anticipate it was going to be... Well, this was there we go. I didn't anticipate it was going to be that far into it, but I wanted to participate. I thought it'd be fun. You see there's some really great, like, for example, well, I guess Thumb himself is a great example. Quit throwing those things, gosh dang. Went head to head with an old woman throwing wooden stakes. And god dang if she didn't know what she was doing. Come on. Well, this isn't gonna go well. Anyway, so there's what I was getting at is there's some really great speedrun / no death runners out there, like Thumb himself, right? Thumb does a really awesome, son of a gun. Thumb does a really awesome job. He did these, he's done, I didn't get to see his last. Well, what do we propose we do about this, Rube? Yeah, that's what I thought. Might as well just start that one over. Okay, I need not to think. This game is not a thinking game. Just, yeah, get on that side over, that's fine. I don't think that that's supposed to be an old woman, that's just always what I've thought of it, because it reminds me of the old lady that gives you the, that you can buy the, like, garlic and the laurels from in Simon's Quest. Oh, and the silver knife. She's it's like a little old woman. Okay, let's try not... Hold on. Just stay on the ladder. There we go. But anyway, Thumb did these. I didn't get to see his last one, which was sad. I got notified of it, but I was out of town, so I didn't get to see it. But he did I had gotten to see one on Twitch he had done, and it was a Let's Practice stream, and I thought it was pretty awesome. I got to see him practice. I think it was. I think he was going for speedrun, but it was Super Mario, nonetheless. And it was awesome to get to see that. It's such a fun, like, I guess that's a part that's really interesting to me. Is the like you see a lot of these people. I'm guessing one of these is I didn't say I mean, I'm using Ninpo at this point, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Nope. Ah, son of a gun. There aren't enough old women enemies in games. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. No comment. Okay, wait, what am I doing? I think we're fine. Okay, there we go. So is I see what you did there. Though I get what you're going for there. Ah. Anyway, I got focused on there on trying to get past that part there for a second. So, that military guy, goodness. Anyway, no, it's really interesting to get to see. I think it was really interesting to get to see the. Shoot, go through him. There we go. It was really interesting to get to see the practice portion of it, because you see all these no death runs, and you see all of these no death runs, and you see all these like awesome speed runs and all this, and then you don't really get to see a lot of the practice of it. You see, I mean, or when you see the practice, it's already I guess you see them, they're already doing like sub 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever the game is, you know, whatever's par for the game, they're doing, you can see them doing like literally a fifth of that as their time. You can really see the Ninja Gaiden influence in Cyber Shadow. Yeah, you absolutely can. There's another game also, I don't know if you've gotten to play, Cyber Shadow is amazing, by the way, also super difficult. If you get a chance, I'm pretty sure you've probably heard of it or played it. If you haven't, please do. It's a game called The Messenger. And it's really good. It's definitely, I would say, also heavily influenced by Ninja Gaiden, but it adds a lot more. It adds a lot more to the Ninja Gaiden formula than was I guess originally in here. Like you have a glide ability, you'll get a glide ability or a swinging weapon, you know, type of, you know, rope thing. It's really cool. It's really fun. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. I love The Messenger. Okay, good. Yeah, I figured that was probably going to be the case. The Messenger's such a well-made game. Great music, too. Honestly, here's a question. I'm posing a question to anyone who's in chat, and I'm curious. It's really two questions, all right? What is your favorite video game soundtrack of all time? A soundtrack that you really enjoy. Now, it doesn't matter if it's objectively a good soundtrack or objectively the best soundtrack. I'm not worried about that. But it has either sentimental value or it's universally considered great and you agree with that. What is a soundtrack from a video game, doesn't matter what video game or what time, that you find the absolute best? And then, now we're just going to push that envelope up. If your answer isn't within the past, we'll say 3 years, right? What is the best video game soundtrack in the past 2 to 3 years, recent gaming? What is the best video game soundtrack that you've heard or that you enjoy or that you've purchased, or maybe you leave the game on the menu just to hear a song from it? I have my answers, but I want to hear everybody else's answers too. Oh, I know this level. I remember this level. I played this level on the SNES collection. Oh, also, I guess I should make a comment for anybody who is expecting more Banjo-Tooie or the conclusion therein. Son of a gun, that person. I will be doing that. I will be doing Banjo-Tooie again and finishing it. But the challenge was timed. There was a time limit on it, so I didn't want to miss the participation window. Oh, I forgot you can just run right off the other side. I'm gonna check this out really quickly. For me, it's Streets of Rage 2's soundtrack. In the last few years, maybe Cyber Shadow or Doom 2016. Okay, those are great. Those are great choices. Those are fantastic choices. I think, for me, depending on how retro we want to go, I still think, to me, and this is going to be weird. Like, this is absolutely sentimental. I've made mention of it, so I don't want to sound like a broken record. I was about to say beat a dead horse and sound like a broken record, so I was like, I don't want to sound like a dead record. I don't want to sound like a broken record. There we go. Cat just runs right over you. Or dog. I think my favorite video game soundtrack of all time... Son of a gun, this section there. I think my favorite soundtrack of all time, video game soundtrack of all time, is KOTOR, which I will be getting to playing. Also, whoever's here, whoever's in the chat, I'll make a comment about that as well. I know there's a lot of topics I'm kind of navigating, so I apologize for having done so not so skillfully. You guys just got a flat bazooka. KOTOR is probably my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. It mixes two things that I really love, which is Star Wars music with kind of some original pieces. I would argue that Tor actually has a better soundtrack, the MMO, but KOTOR will be my favorite just because a lot of the thematic pieces used were not original. They were borrowed from either Star Wars films or... You know, no, that's not fair to say. Tython is amazing, so Tor, probably. Either KOTOR or Tor would be some of my favorite music. And that's a hard one, but I would say in the past couple of years, 2-3 year period, something like that, I would say Coffee Talk. Son of a gun. Killed by a rocket launcher and a bird. A weird combination of death. You imagine that? What killed him? Well, I can't tell, sir. I think it's either a rocket launcher or some form of ornithological specimen. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna put natural causes down here. That'll probably be fine, right? I mean, that depends, sir. Do you think the bird was the natural cause or the man-made rocket to the face? Birds occur in nature. It's fine. Anyway, Coffee Talk. I love. It's Andrew something or another. I can't think of his name, but anyway, he did this beautiful lo-fi style soundtrack. Very. Just definitely sets it's the type of music, in my opinion, that encapsulates the entire experience of sipping a nice hot cup of coffee or tea, and you know, looking at it, the rain outside and all that kind of good stuff. Like it's just got a cozy feel. Highly recommend it. You can buy if you're not a fan of the game. The game is very much a story. Kind of playable novel, so to speak. If you're not a big fan of those types of games, then my recommendation is just grab the soundtrack. I think it's like $7.99 or something. It's not expensive. It's worth it, though. I think you can also just give it a straight... I mean, you can also, I believe, just give it a listen straightforward on YouTube. It's a few years old now, but I love Hotline Miami soundtrack. Yes, Hotline Miami. I forgot about that. Hotline Miami has a wonderful soundtrack. That game is also incredibly messed up. The story of it. Ah, dang it. Dang it. So here's this is the other thing I want to address. I am going to be playing KOTOR at some point in time on this channel. The intention is soon. sooner rather than later. That was the door there, by the way. Sooner rather than later. I'm anticipating doing it after Banjo-Tooie. But just depending on how it falls or how what people are enjoying, I'd like to play it. I may take a break, just depending on. I mean, like, I enjoy Banjo-Tooie too, but it's so it's so ridiculously like splayed out. It's like I'm finding myself wanting to take breaks. The first one I don't have that problem. I really enjoy the first one, but the second one, boy, it's I definitely want to take breaks sometimes from it because it's just so much to go through. KOTOR is also a lot to go through, but I have a ton of fun with KOTOR just because I know it like the back of my hand. So shoot. Also, I guess I should make mention of this. Anybody who's in the chat, I don't know if this is... I was going to make mention of this, and I got sidetracked 4 different times. I put a poll out a while back about what class we were going to play as, and Soldier did get the vote. So we're going to be a Soldier for sure. I think I may have said this in another stream. Shoot. I'm fine. I think I may have said this in another stream. I am not used to playing a Soldier. As a matter of fact, that is my least played class. I play as a Scoundrel 90% of the time. But I have no problem playing as the Soldier. I'm going to spec really weird, though, just for anybody who's a purist. I'm going to spec really weird. I'm going to pass the game just fine, but I'm going to spec real weird. But I asked everybody to vote and let me know what would... what side of the Force we'd play it on, light or dark. And it was a... shoot, I forgot about this guy. I forget about... It's just this you're supposed to do. If I can get him. Let's see. There was a few years that I was really wanting to get into writing video game soundtracks, but I never got around to it. It's also been a while since I've properly played guitar, bass, or drums at all. I don't know if it's worth it to you, AR. I think I may have some really neat sound music writing programs, though. I'm not positive. So they're not the real instruments, obviously. They're going to be pre-recorded instruments, but they'll allow you to arrange them in a way that works. So I think at the moment, I think it's just you and I on here. If you'll give me some time to look through my database and see what I have, I'd be happy to give the unused ones that I have to you, and you're welcome to... I mean, you may not use them, and that's okay too. But if I'm not using them, then there's no real point in me holding on to them either, right? So... I love music. I love... just real quick, I guess I'm probably gonna switch games. This one, the answer's 2-1 for Thumb. I can get to 2-1, and then I end up accidentally ninpoing, or I die a bunch. But I'm gonna switch over just for now, because this is doing a thing. As a matter of fact, while I'm doing that, let me move you guys over to the BRB. Now, it's gonna be BRB, it's just me gonna be changing the game, so... but anyway, if you're interested in that, let me know. I definitely would be happy to see what I have and send it your direction. It would take me a little bit of time, and I could send it to it through an email address or through a file share program that if you're comfortable with that. But if it's something you think you'd have fun doing, I say maybe we see that go that route. So that'd be cool. Dun, 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 dun. Do that. I used to play guitar and bass a lot. I was obsessed. Just kind of dropped it off the last few years, though. I do miss it sometimes, though. Yeah, that's understandable. I love to play. So I play. I don't have a bass. I have a bass. I don't really play it. My little brother. If you've ever watched any of the older videos on my. And I'll go ahead and turn this to the intermission screen. You can see what game I'm just going to try and run through for fun next. If you've ever listened to my, or watched my, older videos, Warning to anybody who watches this video after the fact, any video that is labeled as solo is just me. It's a solo video, and there's typically not going to be any sort of real offensive content in it, language, etc. If you are planning on watching it or anticipating it being more of a family thing, anything that has anything other than solo, i.e. duo, duet, trio, quartet, I think we have septet, any of those are going to have potentially offensive content and certainly are going to have a lot of language in them, just because the company I have, you know, expresses themselves differently. So they're still super funny, and if you do get a chance, they're if you can forgive the guerrilla style editing and the poor Omega Ace. Hi, oh hey Omega, how you doing, bud? By the way, say thank you to both of you guys for commenting on my little short 30-second TikTok video. I really appreciate that. That was and I think you guys left a like, but you guys did comment, and it's really kind of you guys to have been willing to just watch the video and leave a comment. That was awesome. 100%. If I ever guest on Retro's channel, the title will be guaranteed as offensive content language. You've been warned. LOL. That's okay. Yeah. So if you ever look at yet again, not promoting it. If you do want to, great. If you don't, that's okay. Hanging out until my parents get here. LOL. They're visiting today. I was cleaning just now. Oh well, great. I'm glad you're getting to visit with your parents. That's awesome. I appreciate you for coming and hanging out here for a little while. I really do. That's very kind of you. And of course, you're always welcome here. It's always fun to get to talk with you guys. I'm getting to talk with two of the Four Horsemen right now. It is literally an honor, as much as a privilege. So I really appreciate you guys for stopping by. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying something to the yeah. So my older videos they have the content warning in the description. The person you typically hear me with on the duo episodes is my little brother. His name's Austin, and really funny guy, demented mind, but super comedic genius in my opinion. And if you ever get a chance to see that, you'll see those. But anyway, point being is, if you go back and you see those and kind of weed through the guerrilla style video editing and the poor audio quality and all that. I was still learning microphones at that time, so I had different stuff. You'll get to hear some of the references to. Thank you, buddy. It's my pleasure. Ah, you're too kind. I really appreciate it. You'll get to hear some of the references though. My little brother, that guy you'll hear me with, he is a bassist for it's a fairly local band. I say it's actually a little bit bigger than it's like more than our town knows it. They've definitely toured some states. Demented mind sounds like me. If you want to learn, like I said, if you want to learn a little bit about him, it's not at all mandatory. He used to, I own a house, and he used to live at my house with me. And he moved off to do his own thing. He's not far away from me, but he doesn't live with me anymore, so we don't get to record together. But we used to record the very first video on the channel, or Spy Hunter. And we recorded those together. We recorded Spy Hunter together. It was really fun. I don't know why we're not seeing the chat box there. Hold on. Huh. I don't see why, but I don't know why. I'll have to look into that. Oh yeah, but so anyway, yeah, he did this Victory Leo. Oh, hey, welcome into the stream. He was the first one to record. Thank you for dropping in, by the way, Leo. I really appreciate it. No, yeah, my brother was the first one to record videos with me. So you'll get it if you ever get a chance and you go see you can forgive the poor audio editing, and the first two videos that I did are absolutely awful. But I left them up because I had so much fun with them. Recorded them in August of 2016. We're still figuring out how microphones worked at that time and how audio sync worked out, and it was it's pretty awful, but it was a lot of fun. I highly recommend taking a look at some of those videos with him. and getting a sense of how he is and that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, he's a bassist for a decently big band down here, and so he's definitely the bass guy. And of course, I play guitar, but I'm not in any of the bands. Several of my friends make up that band, and then I play piano, which most bands don't have much of a use for. Most. There are some really heavy bands, rather, that do, but I'm just going to try to run through this for the fun of it real quick. Oops. And I believe my fastest stage will be 4-1, I think. And Celestial Light. Hey, Celestial! Welcome into the stream. Thank you so very much for popping in. Oh, okay, so I had a couple of things. I get so sidetracked. I'm so excited to talk about so many things all the time, and I missed the thing I'm supposed to be talking about. So couple things, I guess, rather. Firstly, I did put a post up on KOTOR. I want to start KOTOR pretty quickly. I'm actually excited to start it sooner rather than later, and if it's okay with everybody, I may even take a break from Banjo-Tooie to play KOTOR. I've just been in such a Star Wars mood recently, and I really love it, and it's my favorite game of all time, so it's really hard to... So if everybody's okay with that, I may take a break and do that. I may even start it next stream, or well, I mean, depending on how this goes, the end of this one. No death... Just missed my no death blindfolded run of Ninja Gaiden. What was it? Not my line. I think it was Dan Avidan said it, but it was the yeah. Welcome to episode 1, the finale of the hardest game ever. Son of a gun, I wasn't paying attention there. Looking forward to the KOTOR. Right, yes, so I put a poll up, and the poll, I asked for what class. I got the class, but I asked what side of the Force we should do, dark side, light side, and I got a 50-50 split. And so I still have no idea. So I'm leaving it up to... I'll leave it up to any participants who want to in today's chat, hopefully not a 50-50 split, to let me know whether they want me to do a light side playthrough or a dark side playthrough. There we go. Alright, 4-1. Is this the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, it is. Of course, anybody in here knows this. I know Celestial knows it better than I do. But Piranha Plant's stems are the only thing that have hitboxes. So, if you technically hit the stem, you can jump. It's not absolutely perfect. But if you can... it is technically possible just to keep momentum and jump over them. I just failed the second jump by mistake. There we go. Dark side, kill everyone. I usually leave it to a coin flip when that happens, lol. Yeah, I know, and I may do that. I could do that, but dark side sounds fun. The way I spec is very similar at the very beginning, no matter which way I go, but how I treat everybody. I am very much in KOTOR, I'm very much a polar version of myself. Which is, if I'm good, I'm not kind of good. Everything I've ever done is just to help is just absolutely benevolent, and if I'm the bad guy, conversely, everything is absolutely malevolent. Mario 1, eh? Yeah, just a random retro stream. I was doing the thumb challenge, and I thought, why not? I was doing the Thumb Ninja Gaiden challenge, and I thought, why not? I play lost levels. I know I've been into a lot of your streams. With the exception of the past couple of weeks, things have been super busy. I usually try to make as many of your streams as I can, and I'm generally pretty good at it. Worst comes to worst, I typically will lurk. I could do that. Well, dark side sounds fun. You know he's leaning to dark side. Dark side is absolutely my favorite, no doubt. Because in real life, here's the thing, in real life, there are mean things you wish you could do, but they're really small. And you usually, especially where I am, you're supposed to be nice, you're supposed to be a good guy. So sometimes it's fun to be a little not so good. Especially when you know that it doesn't actually hurt or cause anybody any problem. So Dark Side is my favorite, but don't let that skewer your views, because there's some pretty jacked up stuff you can do in KOTOR for the Dark Side. There's literally a guy you can, for anybody who has played the game, you probably know of it, there's literally a guy that you can use the Force on, to force him to not be able to speak. And it's pretty jacked up. If you have the right power, which I will, because I always get it no matter light or dark. Definitely dark, but... Ah, shoot. Alright, really quickly. Oh my goodness. Victory Lewis says, a heads up to anyone who purchased the DVD from Shot Factory. My Beast Wars Transformer and the Season 4 of G1 Transformers disc is not going on 13-year-old. Must be poor quality DVDs. Oh, okay. Alright. Celestial says, there's a problem with my internet now. I need to fix it. I'll give this another shot just for the fun of it. Retro Room, what do you think of the All-Stars version of this game? I like the All-Stars. I like Super Mario All-Stars. So, if I'm giving an honest opinion, the All-Stars version obviously has the better... They did the 16-bit graphics and sprites and all that kind of stuff. But the momentum feels different, to me. The momentum in... The way I would describe the momentum in the NES version is slingshot, and the way I would describe it in the SNES version is Super Mario World. And I do kind of prefer... I've noticed that because I've been playing Super Mario Brothers for, you know, almost 30 years, I kind of got used to the slingshot. And so because I got used to the slingshot, I tend to prefer this version of it. But it's not a must. I can absolutely play the All-Stars version. It's a bummer, really. I hope they release them on Blu-ray someday. Yeah. Just do that. There we go. Did you see the screen wind there where I got the points on both sides of the screen? This is not speedrun, this is just me playing for the fun of it. I may actually, just to say, I may actually start my KOTOR specking this run. Because there's a lot of preamble that's not necessary. This just sounds really fun. I want to play some Star Wars. I'm going to play Star Wars. If everybody's okay. I'm going to play Mario right now, but I'm going to play Star Wars in a bit, if that's okay. Yep, the physics are different. Yeah, they are. And here's the thing. I can see... So here's my thing. If somebody grew up playing Super Mario World before they played Super Mario Bros., I think they would prefer the... All-Stars version. But me personally, when it comes to this, I don't mind it. I jumped a little early for that, by the way. So I got lucky that I didn't get hit there. Yeah, 4-1's definitely Speedrunner's Paradise. I keep my whole DVD collection in a storage tote. Fair enough, fair enough. I think somebody who started playing Super Mario World, personally, I think somebody who played Super Mario World would, I think somebody who played Super Mario World would probably enjoy the All-Stars version better. But if you started off with this one, like I did, and like I'm sure most of you did, then there's something about the slingshot physics of it that just makes this better, I feel. Okay. So that's my deal. Also, side note, I had forgotten, not forgotten, rather, I guess I had forgotten. I remembered it had come out, but I had forgotten to take a look at Castlevania Season 4. Omega, don't be disappointed in me for that, because I will binge it and get through it. I know you said you were watching it through with the fiancé, which is awesome. Anna is, she's tried to watch it with me twice, and I don't think it's her cup of tea. She's very sweet about it, but she falls asleep every time. And granted, she does a lot of stuff too. She works a ton of different, because she does a ton of different things, so she gets tired. But we've tried to watch it a couple times, and she's just asleep by the time we're at the 10-minute mark of the first episode. So meanwhile, I'd sit there and watch the first season three or four times. But I'm excited about it. Let's see. Well, there's still... Oh, sorry. Let's see. There's some... Let me do some scrolling here, because I missed some comments here. And the breaking blocks push you downwards and may cause you to fall into a pit. It's just going to break your momentum and lock you into place for a second. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, and it's the same kind of... It's the vertical version of the Ninja Gaiden / in my opinion, it's the vertical version of the Ninja Gaiden / Castlevania horizontal kickback compensate. Like when you're in Castlevania and you know you're going to have to take a hit, you find yourself positioning yourself so that you don't fall into a pit. Same thing with Ninja Gaiden. Mario is the exact same, except for instead of a horizontal positioning, you have to make sure that you're vertically positioned accordingly. I completely agree with that. I'm still planning so far. Yeah, she's killing me. We've only finished 5 episodes so far. It's a 10-episode season, yeah, I think. Turtle or snail slow. I love those little emojis there. Another theory. Side note. I notice on Twitter, I do it, and in private messages, I like the reaction via the preset emojis they give. I don't like to use a whole lot of them. I typically only use 2 or 3 different emojis. There was a thought that was, I think, put forward that says we all use emojis so much that we're reverting back to hieroglyphics. And I don't know why, but I've always been self-conscious of... I've always been self-conscious of not doing that, trying not to do that. But I do tend to react. I think I use 2 of the 8 options that are available. I use the fire one when I'm super excited about a thing or I think it's amazing, and then I use the heart one most of the time just because when somebody says something I think is I don't know, the thumbs up one just doesn't ring right with me. It's like I don't know, like it's so weird that oh, Quesadilla, hey, how you doing, QP? I haven't heard from you in some time. I think you had done a stream for a bit, but then that was a little while back, and then anyway, it's so good to have you here. Thanks for coming in. I don't use the thumbs up though. On the emojis is what I was saying, or on the reactions. I don't use the thumbs up. Because I find it dismissive. I know nobody else means it that way, but I'm like, I find it dismissive. Like, I don't want people to think I don't care. So, if you guys have ever done if you guys have ever talked with me and you notice you're like, oh man, this guy uses a lot of hearts. He really loves everything, doesn't he? I don't like the other emojis. It's me letting you know that what you've said I think is awesome, but it's, I want to reserve the fire for, like, super excited, and the thumbs up seems dismissive, so it's like, eh. So, sorry if I'm a little odd in that way. Alright. Aren't the Buzzy Beetles innocent? I don't... There's nothing... The Goombas I get... yeah, okay. Yes. I think the Buzzy Beetles are adorable. But at the same time, sometimes necessity wins out over humanity. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. That's no relevance. It's one Mario versus one enemy. I understand that. I honestly think, like, same thing with Lakitu. Like, Lakitu's throwing stuff at you, but at the same time he's just poking up there like, stay off my lawn. Whoops. I use the laughing with tears emoji the most. Yeah, okay, I've used that one and the shocked face once or twice, I guess. But like 90% of, I think, Lakitu got a sniper. Ended up becoming a sniper. All right, I'm gonna do it. I think it's, I'm itching for it, so I'm gonna do it. So if you guys will give me a second, I'm going to. Oh, by the way, for anybody who didn't know, I was playing the Wii versions of this with an actual NES controller. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. So I have the cartridges, but it makes it it made it easier for me to switch between the retro games, by using a Wii, or I'm using the Wii U, the Wii interface on the Wii U. But yeah, I guess yeah, I've used the yeah, so you guys can actually see some of the games I have queued up and such, so on and so forth. But yeah, I have the let's move it to this one. I have a few that I use, but it's so weird, like how we do, like if some people get a thumbs up and you're like, ah, okay, that means they understand, they get it. I see it and I'm like, it means, ah, cool. And I'm like, I know people don't mean it that way, but I just don't feel comfortable using it. I don't know. I know that's weird. It's super weird, but yeah, so I don't really use emojis when I type Wii U and Wii mode. Yeah, so the piece of it is I have I have all the original consoles hooked up, but when I feel like I'm going to do a variety stream, if it's not me just playing one game, I will opt to go with a some form of like emulation. Like if I bought it on the Switch market or the Wii market or the Wii U market, I'll emulate it via that, because firstly it allows me to maintain the same aspect ratio but still come out with HD signal. And then secondly, I don't have any lag or latency in it. And then thirdly, I don't have to switch between consoles or cartridges all the time. I can just kind of come out and switch the virtual cartridge. So I typically do that. Yeah, I'll switch back real quick so you can kind of see. This is just what's on this card. I have a couple of cards with a couple of retro games, but I do, and I own all of the games you see here. I own the actual cartridges for them as well, but I wanted to have the digital duplicate so I didn't wear my cartridges out as rapidly. So here you'll see, Ghosts and Goblins, the Super Mario games, the Ninja Gaidens 1, 2, and regrettably 3. Kid Icarus is here. Galaga's here. So a lot of awesome stuff. And then I come back, I'll go to this page here. I have a couple of my choice Mega Mans, Final Fantasy 3, which is amazing, right? Classic Mario Bros, etc. So, oh, and also Contra and Castlevania Rebirth, because you can't get them anymore, and that's really frustrating. But you can't get them anymore. The Wii Shop, they were only on the Wii Shop, and the Wii Shop closed down, so now the only way that you can get them if you didn't already have them is to download the ROMs and put them into a hacked Wii. So, I use emojis a lot, often to the point of annoying people. You would never annoy me. It's my own personal preference as to why I don't use them, but anybody else who uses them, I understand that that's, so cool. Heavy Waves, man, so much. Hey, Heavy Waves, how you doing? Fantastic stream, by the way, the other night. I really appreciate you for having me there. That was a lot of fun. Very nice. Hi, everyone in chat. And nice. So yeah, I do. I love. Oh, and a little hidden gem right here. This is a really cool little hidden gem. If you've never played it, I highly recommend it. It's a little expensive for the. If you're getting the. If you're able to find, I think they may have it on the Wii U shop. If they don't have it on the Wii U shop, the cartridge may be a little pricey. I think it's about 50-60 bucks, maybe be more than that now. Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom. It's actually a really fun little kind of point-and-click style game that actually plays pretty darn well, so. But I have the cartridges, but this is just easier for me to switch. Of course, a lot of Castlevania, because everybody knows. Aku Mojo Dracula X. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and switch. I'm going to switch over. I've been in a super Star Warsy mood. I think I'm going to start, if everybody's okay with it, I hope everybody's okay with it. I want to switch over, start speccing, and start playing KOTOR. I'm itching to do it. If everybody's okay with it, is everybody alright with it? I mean, it's a retro game, technically. It's almost 20 years old, but is everybody okay with hopefully me jumping over to that? It is my favorite game of all time, and I'm so excited to get to jump in. I will change the thumbnail to reflect that that's a thing that happens also post of it. I plan on modding all my systems. I think that's a phenomenal idea. Honestly, this is my personal opinion. Let me switch over here. My personal opinion is, I think one of the most phenomenal systems out there right now is the Wii. The classic Wii, not the Slim, not the Wii U even. Well, the Wii U's actually comparable. Wii U might be better. But the Wii, where I live, you can buy a Wii at a pawn shop for $20 or $30, typically no more than $30. you can mod it, and it uses the native emulation of the console, which was already, by the way, made to play GameCube and Wii discs, as well as was able to play virtual console versions of the NES, the SNES, the TG16, the Sega Genesis, etc. And so you can actually take all of the games, download the ROMs, put them on a SD card, and you can play them with native emulation. I used to use that before my game collection kind of got ahead of me. I used to use that to test out what games I wanted to purchase next. It's how I found out about Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom, and it's why I made that purchase, and made the virtual purchase first, and then I found the cartridge later on. So sorry, I'm going to catch up real quick. My goodness, I'm rambling here. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I'll have to figure out how to continue keeping your attention. Guess I'll have to continue Castlevania forever. So, Heavy Waves, just so you know, bud, I appreciate it. We were teasing you a lot. Omega and I were teasing you quite a bit in that stream. But I will say, you don't have to worry about keeping my attention. Just have fun, and I'll be there as often as I can. I do the same thing with everybody else's stream. If you're doing something that's fun for you and that you're enjoying doing, I'll make your stream. I'll be there. I'll leave a like. I'll comment, and I'll interact as much as I can. But at the very least, I'll let you know I'm in there lurking. That's the idea. Celestial Light, Knights of the Old Republic. Yes, that is correct. It's my favorite game of all time. I'll go ahead and give the story. There is sentimental value. I'll give the story as I put it back in. But yeah, it is my favorite game of all time for a couple of reasons. Let's see. Heavy's a good friend of mine. You guys should check him out. I agree. Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen Heavy Waves stream, it's very well set up, and he was incredibly interactive and personable, and just fun to. It was just fun to watch him play games and get to talk with him. So I agree. I think everybody. I'm sure that this is probably perfect. I'm actually pretty familiar with everybody that's in the chat, and I can say that if any one of you that are in the chat currently have not checked out someone else in the chat, you guys are actually all pretty phenomenal channels, and all have very, in my opinion, very specific skill sets. Celestial is an amazing, difficult game player from No Death Run to, I mean, it's just the Lost Levels. Just watching him play the Lost Levels is an art form, and nothing less of that. Nothing shy of that, rather. Omega, it's just fun watching you have fun with new games. I think I can't say the word Fuma. That game. It was super fun to watch. I'm glad that it was playable last time. And then Heavy Waves, of course, did play some Castlevania for us via the Wii U, I believe. The Wii U be backwards compatible. They did make the Game Boy games backwards compatible. So, everybody here is just great. AR's doing a Star Wars thing later today that I'm super excited to see. QP was I don't know. It's just like everybody's so great here. So if you do get a chance, shh, no, don't. The Wii is an emulation monster. It is, and not only that, not only is the Wii an emulation monster, but they make adapters. So if you have a NES Mini or SNES Mini, you can actually use your NES Mini or SNES Mini all the way up in her. So, hey, Retro Ryan. Thanks for popping in. My apologies for having to lurk on the Brady stream last night. I didn't get back in until about 1 a.m. here-ish, so I kind of had to lurk on that, so I'm so sorry about that, but it was a lot of fun to get to watch. I'll try to be more interactive. Hopefully, if you guys are back on tonight, I'll try to be more interactive, but I was just out of it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, emulation monster. You can have you can actually plug in SNES controllers, NES controllers, and they sell adapters for a fairly inexpensive price for Sega Genesis. You plug your Sega Genesis controller straight into a Wii Wand, play Sega Genesis games on the Sega Genesis controller. So very, very cool. So all right, I'm going to switch over really quickly. I'm going to give you guys some music. I don't want to leave you all in the dark. Music doesn't make light. I meant in the quiet. It'll take me just a minute to get everything switched over. It won't take too long at all. So 1 second. Oh, Heavy says, cleaning the house, so I'll be in and out of chat. Oh, that's no problem, bud. I understand. Everybody's got stuff to do, and I completely understand. I'm just very appreciative that you guys were willing to come in and at very least say hi. So. All right, 1 second. I'm going to switch everything over. Okay, it doesn't take too long. You guys kind of got this sneaky music. You guys kind of got that sneaky music. It doesn't take very long for me to switch over the consoles. I don't have a remote control for my HDMI. I have an 8-in 1-out HDMI switcher, and I don't have a remote control for it. There didn't come with a remote control. It was a rack mount thing, so I have to actually go up and push that one button, but not too bad. So we will move things back over to HD game. Hopefully you guys can see. Gib84 Gaming. Hi, Retro Room. Hey, Gib, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I was actually pretty excited to see your pickups video. Excuse me. I think I commented on seeing you pick up. I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but a specific title that I actually really enjoyed. I thought it was kind of a weird, kind of hidden title, but I really like it. I did keep it in my collection. I think I picked it up for, I think it was $20 when I picked it up. It may not go for that now, but all right. Let me see if I'm pretty sure I've got it set up here. By the way, for anybody who was looking for my let's see here. Put this over here. My gamer tag, user tag up there. I will be happy to pass it back out. It is up there in the top left-hand corner, though. Feel free to take it down if you are an Xbox gamer and ever like to play online. I do definitely love to play games, so I definitely am excited to do that. Yeah, thanks for the comment. It was a fun video. I like it. It was fun getting to see all the stuff you guys would pick up. It was a really fun video. I love seeing pickup videos, so it was really nice. But I specifically commented because I saw that one, and that's such a niche game to pick up. I remember thinking that when I picked it up, but then I remember not regretting it. But I am a little odd too, so hopefully you enjoy it as well. I hope so. What were we getting? KOTOR. There it is. Xbox. What happened? Oh, dang it. Xbox, yeah. Yeah, if you're like I said, when I say everything, I play everything. I enjoy. There are very few games out there that I don't enjoy. If somebody said they made 2 worlds playable by 2 players, I'd probably give you a hard pass on that game. I will, disclaimer, I'm not great at a lot of the games I play. I'm not phenomenal. The point for me has always been in playing games not to be the best, but just to have fun. And that remains my goal. As such, I haven't necessarily mastered a whole ton of games. But, oh, KOTOR, my big brother loves this game. This is my favorite game of all time. This is absolutely my favorite game of all time. I think my retro screen, let me look, I think it cuts it off, so I'm not sure if that's cutting it off a ton. So if that cuts it off too much, I'll put it back to the HD screen, but I think that we might be okay. This is my favorite game of all time. So this is for sake of sounding like for trying not to sound like a broken record, but telling the story. I will tell the story one last time, and then I won't bother anybody else with it. So if you've heard it, so you're saying you played Divinity Original Sin co-op. Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't remember what I remember liking the Divinity series because I even played. And Original Sin, I remember thinking was decently fun as well. But bear in mind, I played what is it, Ego Draconis, like way back then, and I actually enjoyed that. And that game kind of got panned. Are they remaking this? There's a rumor that they're making a 3rd installment, but as far as I know, remake efforts on this are limited to kind of machinima style video. And so, as far as I know, they're not remaking the game as of yet, but there is a YouTube channel out there called Unreal Cinema, And he is doing a really nice Unreal Engine rendered video version of this game for anybody who doesn't want to play it through. Did you get Mass Effect Collection? I sure did. I absolutely adore Mass Effect, and so I was excited to pick that up. So yes, I bought the collector's editions back in their respective day, and there were collector's editions for 1, 2, and 3. So I got all 3 of those. I was so excited. And then they said, oh, Legendary Edition, it's going to be disc with all the DLC. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that. I got to do that. But it makes me regret having spent the money I spent on the original 3 collector's edition a little bit, because if I'd have been 10 years more patient, I'd have had it all anyway. Do I have load games? Yeah, I got load games. Okay. Oh, okay. I heard it's the 3rd one that is coming. That's what I loosely heard. Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people are excited. This game has been. So this game came out in 2002. It was it's one of the most requested reissue remake games to remake, but it's complicated because it came out back when BioWare was a little bit more fresh-faced and owned by these 2 doctors versus the company being what it is now, which is owned by EA, you know. And then of course the way that EA and Disney have been playing, it's all been tricky. It's all been tricky. New game. So it was voted for on the Twitter page that we were going to do a soldier. I typically do rogue, so this is my least played through class, but I'll do it. Do a custom character. I love the music. I absolutely love the music of... I'll do this. I have a beard, but that's close enough. I think that's also what they chose to be the canonical. Anybody who plays tabletops, by the way... what was the other game? Canned Star Wars game, 13, 17 or something. Yes. So this is actually a fun fact. I guess I should do this, do a thing on this. It's Star Wars 1313 is what you're thinking of. And I worked in the video game industry at that time. So that's what I was doing. I worked in the video game industry for half a decade, so to speak. And I actually went to the meeting that they had. They had this big presentation meeting for 1313 with the video footage they had and everything, and they had these little raffle tickets that you could draw, and what they had is concept art that got autographed by the concept artist. So he just these sketches, and they had these like postcards that he had pre-sketched that he had signed off on. I actually have 6 of those. They're not duplicates, they're all different, but I got 6 of those awesome autographed sketches, and then they canned the project. And so I don't know if the sketch value went way up or way down, but it made me so happy to think that I had a remnant of that, being a tremendous Star Wars nerd that I am. 1313 looked pretty cool. Yeah, it's really cool. And they if you're a big Star Wars fan, they paid homage to 1313 in season 5 of the Clone Wars series. So if you've watched the Clone Wars series, I think season 5, they do pay homage to the 1313 and the location and all that good stuff. For anybody who's a tabletop fan, this does use D&D rules. You get 30 points right off the bat, and yeah, you can overspec a lot of this, but what I opt to do in a lot of these cases is balance it out so I don't have any negative attributes. Those all give me a +1. Now the problem I have here that I normally do, the thing that I normally do, is upgrade Persuade, but it's because I'm a soldier now, it's a cross-class skill. So that gets tricky, but it comes really in handy for some cool stuff pretty in the near future. What I will need, though, is some treat injury. That's probably where all that'll go. I'll have experts for everything else. All I know how to do is talk kinda good and help people fix legs. Feats. Yeah, I automatically get all of that. So let's do some... let's do some dueling, because that's gonna happen. And name is we'll do some random here. Let's see what comes up. Lindo Crawl. Let's try... Gallic Car. See, I want to find a real good... Oh, there we go. There we go. Jerk Star. My old YouTube moniker used to have 1313, so I'd flinch every time I'd see that Star Wars title mentioned. LOL. Yeah. So for anybody who did, who wanted to or does have an Xbox and decides they want to play online at any point in time or just have fun, my gamer tag also had has 1313 in it. Although I had to change it in 2013 because I couldn't remember my 360 password and wasn't able to transfer it over to my Xbox One. So it's actually Magshin 1313-777, just 3 numbers. Jerkstar we are. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit tougher and a little bit easier at the same time, I believe. I should be taking less damage because of the high health stat and the treat injury stat that I got from being a soldier automatically. And I will also, by the same token, probably do a lot worse on things that I normally do because the Scoundrel is much more persuasive naturally. Oh man, that's a shame. Yeah, so I kept all my 360 games just because my 360 still has me logged in, but I couldn't remember my passwords. Some of the stuff I did have to rebuy. I called Microsoft and they were... At that time, they weren't remarkably helpful, but they've been awesome ever since, so... back before I was Omega, I used to be Omega Ace 1313. That's pretty awesome. So I've been... my channel's always been the Retro Room. It was just... my daughter named it, and she... Being a little... she was... What? 3 or 4 years old, and she called it the Retro Room, but... We said Retro, and she, you know... So she named it, and I think it's brilliant, and she's awesome. Shoot, I think my parents just got here. Oh, wait, never mind. That's funny. They're not here yet. Okay, no worries, no worries. Yeah, I ended up with, anyway, I ended up with Maction1313, though, as a username for... I'm pretty sure that's been my username since you could have a username. With video gaming, I should clarify. So, what I will opt to do, also, this game is incredibly... This is one of the things I said I was a little concerned about. This game is incredibly story-heavy. There's a... I mean, it's a very dialogue-heavy, dialogue-driven game. So what I'll try to do as best as I can is I'll probably skip through some of the dialogue options, and I could do it, and I wouldn't be able to... Really what's going to happen is there's going to be text at the bottom, so you're going to see what's going on. But if I let all of the... Yeah, Microsoft customer service has gotten much of it. Yeah, they have. They absolutely have. Yes. If I would have asked the other one, he'd have been like, "Hey, did you fall out of your bunk and hit your head?" Yeah, I know. She heard all about your reputation. Elite combat training, tops in your class. It's no wonder you were handpicked. Word is the officers haven't seen a recruit with your kind of potential in 20 years. But all that, we're soldiers. We're trained. All right, I'm still going for this. Don't be stupid. So hurry up and okay. So what I'll probably do is, you can read if you want to, Maction 1313. I think I added that one. I didn't get the request, but I will go back and check for it, because it's very possible. It's very possible that I just didn't catch it. By the way, I am playing this on the Xbox One X. My Series X is in the living room, so I don't think that makes a difference, but my hope is that the quality of this is coming through nice and clean. On my side, it looks a little fuzzy. I don't know if that's a console thing or not, though. I think that may just be a broadcast thing, so I hope it looks okay. Short sword. I don't have a belt. Okay, nothing. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, what I'll probably do is I'll skip through a lot of the dialogue that they're gonna say, with the exception of maybe the random encounter interactions and such, and I will kind of paraphrase. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'll kind of paraphrase what's going on if that's okay. That way it doesn't get too uninteresting, and we can actually... no, I'm gonna switch back to you because you need to... I can actually interact with you guys and the story still be conveyed for those who hadn't played it. Okay, switch over, Trask. So the way that this game works, this game's a little bit...
That door is locked.
Yeah, I did that. I even switched you there first. I need... Oh, security. There we go.
These Sith must be the advanced boarding party for the Republic.
Okay. So to add on to what we're doing right now... Yes, I'm aware. I should probably turn off auto pause, huh? Let's do that. For older games, they'll look identical unless they added FPS boost for the game. I don't know. That's a good point. It looked a little fuzzy, so I don't know if that's... But if it looks okay on your guys' side, then that's also what matters. Combat movement, yes. Autosave, feedback. I don't really need the minimap. Status summary, vibration. I don't need tutorial pop-ups. And no auto pause. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so I mean the game's not gonna look... I knew the game wasn't gonna be perfect. But at the same time it's... You know, I don't want it to look unpleasant for you guys. I hope it looks okay. So the basic premise of this at the moment is that I randomly woke up from what looked to be like having a nightmare on a ship that's under attack. The guys in silver armor, this is apparently what Sith armor looked like back in the day. I should clarify that back in the day, this takes place... This is Legends canon, which means not actual canon anymore for anybody who's a big Star Wars aficionado. Alright, fine, Trask. This takes place about 4,000 to 4,500 years before Episode 1 in the Legends canon. Look at them graphics. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the graphics are definitely a lot rougher. It's definitely an older game. I'd love to see a I'd love to see a re-release, but use the longsword. There we go. I'd love to see a re-release of this with slightly tightened controls, but I don't think they'll ever do that. Disney's not, and to be fair, I'm not trying, this is not me trying to talk bad on Disney, but at the same time, Disney's not real, in my opinion, they're not remarkably attentive when it comes to what Star Wars fans want these days. Which is, I think, is a shame, because I love Star Wars. And, but I feel like that they're more interested in, and I'm saying this, I'm not offering any sort of, political commentary. I'll throw a grenade at that guy. Okay. I'm not above rough 3D graphics. I love old 3D jank. Yeah, same. I do too. Honestly, there's some aspects of this game though that I remember thinking looked really, that I was really impressed by, and even still I kind of look at and I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like I always thought that the shiny Sith armor, if you look at his armor as I move the camera, you'll notice the shine moves with it. I always thought that was a really impressive feat, despite the graphics not being just remarkably good. You know, so there's always some endearing. But what I was saying was, I feel like, without offering political commentary specifically, I remain apolitical and all that on the channel, but I do feel like that Disney is more interested in the politics of what they do versus the quality of what they do. Case in point, I feel like a lot of them, I feel like that 7, 8, and 9 were more about including more demographics in the movies versus writing a genuinely interesting and well-paced story. And to be very clear, I think I think being inclusive is a good thing, obviously. But I don't think that being inclusive is a good thing if it's at the quality of your content or the quality of your content. I think that they should both be, that the quality of your content should be the main focus, and that the inclusivity of it should be organic. I think that anybody would think about that that way. So that's my thing. I think inclusivity, to me, I think inclusivity is organic. I think to most people it is. Yeah, I know where she is. I think inclusivity is an organic thing, and so because I think it's an organic thing, the more you think about it, the worse typically you're going to implement it. So focusing on the quality of your content and then letting the inclusivity be organic and happen organically, I think fixes that. That's my opinion. 1 point. Feats. Can we go up to... we'll add a toughness so I get an extra vitality point. What did I start with? 24 versus Trask's 36? Alright, he's better. So ultimately, I guess I should go, like I said, clarify. I woke up on the ship that's being under siege basically from the Sith. And we're hurtling towards this planet, which you'll learn about soon. It's called Taris. And the idea is that there is a Jedi that is key to the mission. This particular Jedi is supposed to have a very special ability called Battle Meditation, which is basically an ability where when she meditates, it makes the bad guys, her enemies, lose, and the good guys win. The good guys find resolve and determination, and the bad guys kind of lose their desire to fight and their will to fight. Just added the Shadow Man commercial to my OBS, LOL. I thought it'd be fun to play before the game. Nice. What do you feel the future of Star Wars should be? There's something behind here.
Something behind here.
Another Dark Jedi, he says. Yeah. Yeah, I know. This is my favorite game of all time, so forgive me if I do that. Like I said, I didn't tell the story. I'll explain the story in a minute. Things will get a little bit more monotonous, and I'll have some room to kind of explain. Where do I think where do I feel the future of Star Wars should be? That's a good question. I feel the future of Star Wars lie with the fans, and I feel like that the fans of Star Wars are pretty darn good at voicing. Did I ever pick up a stealth belt? Nope. Guess we're just fighting this guy. Normally you can stealth by him and he'll leave to pay attention to that explosion, but I can't. So I think it should be with the fans. My opinion, yeah, Omega, that's a phenomenal question. The fans of Star Wars, in my experience, aren't interested in the politics of it so much as they're interested in the... Well, of all time, that's a big statement. Yeah. No, I can explain why, though. I'm gonna die if I don't... Medpack there. Yeah, I'll explain why, too. I have a story about it, and it's not a sad story, though it sounds a little sad, so... It mimics a sad story. But yeah, I don't have any computer or repair skills, so it's gonna cost me the maximum number of spikes and parts. Let me pause to address the question, because that's a really good question. Oh, I should probably also change into my combat suit, because I think I get a +4 versus no bonus whatsoever. Doesn't look as cool, but it protects me. Star Wars is really... If you look at, like... I'm a huge fan. I'm a tremendous fan of Star Wars. I've read 300-something of the books. Now, that includes the junior books. I've read several of the comics. I've watched all of the movies, of course. I've watched almost all of the extended canon stuff now, which is Clone Wars and Rebels and Mando and all that. And I honestly think the focus of Star Wars should be very similar to the focus of, and the future of, Star Wars should be the past of Star Wars. It should be the same as the past was, which was the interest of telling a good story, or good stories. And Lucas started out, and when he was doing the first one, he says, "Oh, I want it to be a story about the dark and the light, and this dichotomy, and it's almost too clear cut. You know exactly who the good guys and the bad guys are, and that's not how real life works." But he wanted to make it so simple that it could be grasped and enjoyed by all audiences. It was a simple morality tale with fantasy elements in it, and it was in an arena that really, at that point in time, was not popular because it had kind of gone out of, like, it had kind of gone the way of the, like, Logan's Run, Flash Gordon, where that was kind of moving away. And then it became more complicated, more complicated, more complicated. But the themes that were more complicated weren't difficult themes. They were additional complexities that were being added onto the simple morality tale. So, for example, in episode, if we just take it by trilogy, in the sequel trilogy, or I'm sorry, in the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, it's a morality tale and a tale of redemption. It's very clear cut. Bad guys are bad guys. The good guys are good guys, and the people that are conflicted are either good or bad. There's not really an in-between. Luke is not an in-between by the time episode 6 is. There's some evil stuff he does that you're like, that's flat out bad. And then there's some good stuff he does, and you're like, oh, that's great. He redeemed himself. In the prequel trilogy, they tried to add the origins of the Force and how that worked. And then they also tried to add political destabilization, right? So we start learning as to how this republic could become an empire because of this destabilization of banks and funding. And then in Clone Wars, it further goes into how funding is being embezzled or how funding is being thwarted because of private deals between banks and the Empire, or what will become the Empire. At the time was separatists. And so there's this, like, complex plot there. It's not a kid's plot in a lot of cases. A lot of people go, oh, Star Wars is a kid movie. Some of it is. Some of it definitely is. Jar Jar Binks is a good example of that. But when you start talking about, for example, Season 6, Episode 3 and 4, or maybe 4, 5, and 6. It's either 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6. Omega says, my parents just got here. Gotta go, guys. Oh, that's no worries. I hope you have a great visit with your parents, and thanks for coming in, Omega. I really appreciate it. But yeah, and so in season 6, in those episodes, it talks about how the banks are being done dirty. Oh, gives to see you. It talks about how, like, the banks are being done dirty. The kids aren't going to understand what that means. They're not going to understand how the destabilization of currency through inflation or through mass printing or through embezzlement is going to happen. And so, anyway, point being is it adds a new topic. The sequel trilogy tried to be deep, and it just wasn't. It tried to make you feel, Rey doesn't have any conflict. She's always the good guy. The worst thing she does is in episode 9, and it's just that she accidentally focuses so hard that she unleashes more power. Not evil power, just more power. There's no conflict. She's never the bad person. There's never a point where she would ever have become the bad person. Kylo's probably the most interesting character, And it's Kathleen Kennedy saying, oh, well, I want the Force to be female, and I want female to be... And I'm sitting there going, there's some wonderful female characters out there. Why not just implement those? Like, Mara Jade Skywalker is one of the most awesome characters of all time. And I don't care what her gender is. She's amazing. I already opened this Foot Locker. Sorry about that. So it's, I want the politics to stray away. I want them to stray away from the politics, and I want them to go into just making fun and interesting content for viewers. And let the inclusivity be organic. I think that's the idea. If I'm looking for a specific story direction, what I would love to have seen is us kind of move back towards Legends, right? Which is what the old books were. I'd love Luke to have gotten married at some point to Mara Jade, and those two to have kind of grown up. And in the books, they have kids, Jason and Jaina and Anakin. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Jason and Jaina and Ben. Han and Leia get married. They have a kid named Anakin Solo. I'm wrong all the way around. Sorry. Mara Jade and Luke get married, and they have a kid named Ben. And so Han and Leia get married, and they have Jason Solo, Jaina Solo, and Anakin Solo. I'm listening to your response. I'm a bit behind on your stream. No, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm trying so hard to explain. It's such a long response. It's such a good question. I'm so sorry it took so long to explain it. Oh, I know how to slice, dang it. Okay. I think I can just overload that. That should kill everybody. And then I'll just keep the repair parts for later. But yeah, story-wise, I'd love to see Mara Jade come back. I'd love to see more of that. Yeah, I'll leave him alone. And this guy over here should have a prototype vibroblade, which is more effective than what I have. Yep. Boom. And then Karth, you've made it just in time.
You've made it just
I didn't.
In time. I'm the soldier with Basila's escape.
Guy that played the voice, by the way, anybody who had played Mass Effect, the guy that plays the voice of Cartho Nassi is also the voice of Caden Alenko in Mass Effect. Raphael Sabaraj, I think his name is, something like that. Man, you were definitely a huge Star Wars fan. I'm surprised they haven't started using books for inspiration. I actually don't know if the books were used. Let's see. Hey, I spent some time with family checking in for a bit. Hey, Thumb, I'm glad you were willing to pop in. Thanks for being a part of the challenge. Yeah, sorry I wasn't, I'm not remarkably good, but I had fun doing it. I wanted to participate, and I got as far as I could get. I'm not remarkable at it, but I had a lot of fun, and I wanted to at least show some love to the challenge. So thank you so much for letting me get to participate a little bit. And then I switched over. So if you guys will give me just a second, I'm gonna take a short break. I think Anna needs my help with something. And I'll be back here in just a minute. So if you guys will allow me to, I'll put some nice music on for you. And thank you everybody for being here. I will be right back. Goodness, sorry about that. That took a little longer than I anticipated. Fade the music out. So the reason it took so long is that the wifey came home with new animals. And she needed my help to help get them set up. So, get them taken care of. New little birds. Really, really cute. We already had a budgie. He was getting lonely. And now we have a nice little budgie friend, female friend for him, and a little finch. And so yeah, sorry about the wait though. So there's a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it was well worth it. We got all these little happy birds. We'll take a look. See what's happened. Thanks for taking part of the challenge. I did see that, which I was happy that you were allowed me to take part of it. Thank you. I've only seen episodes 4 through 6, Rogue One and Mandalorian. Yes, I argue to anyone who is a Star Wars, they're starting out. 4 through 6 is obviously, I think it's obvious, I say, is my favorite, are my favorite. But I do argue that 1 through 3 is really good, with emphasis on 3. I think 3 is a remarkably dark and beautiful movie with a lot of really great music. In my opinion, the strongest soundtrack of the 9 mainstream films. Actually, the strongest soundtrack of any of them so far. Rogue One and The Mandalorian is very good. Solo is actually worth the watch too if you get a chance. It's not phenomenal, but I would argue it's better than 7, 8, 9. Nate, no need to take care of something as well. No worries. Hey, Heavy. So, have you been? Okay, so that's you guys. Oh, new animals. What kinds of birds? Budgies, little parakeets. We have a little blue budgie named Sam already, and he was getting kind of lonely, and so bird cages are expensive. And tied up with family gathering. LOL. It's been super muggy over here in NYC. Winning combination. It's actually nice and muggy. So you say super muggy. Oh, just real quick side note. It's been kind of muggy, quote unquote, here, and I love that. It's we don't get precipitation often. Okay, new animals though. We had a little budgie, parakeet named Sam, little blue bird, very pretty, very sweet. And now we got him a little female friend and a little finch. Bird cages are super expensive, and my wife actually found a 3.5 foot tall bird cage, big bird cage, probably worth $200, at least $150. But she was able to find it for $30 or $40 on Facebook, something. If she'd go out and pick it up, so she went out and picked it up, and yeah, so we got all new little birdie. She just needed help setting it up. A lot of fun. Oh, okay, I'll check that one out. Yeah, really, really good film. Honestly, a lot of people give the prequel trilogy a lot of trouble, and in my opinion, it's not really deserved. I don't think it really deserves the trouble it gets, because 4, 5, and 6 are about telling a morality tale. 1, 2, and 3 are about establishing the characters in the morality tale, and also about discovering the subtleties of the government and how that worked. And then 7, 8, and 9 really just don't matter at all. Not in my opinion. Alright. So in this game, being good or bad to your compatriots does not do anything. So if I'm really mean to them, I don't get dark side points. If I'm really nice to them, I don't get light side points. So there's actually no benefit in a dark side playthrough of being mean to your teammates. So I'm probably going to be pretty nice to them. Need to get a new cage for my Tegu. I think something custom made though. I would love to see what kind of a bird that is actually, or what kind of an animal. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. That sounds awesome though. That sounds like that'd be awesome.
We've been slipping in and out of
So I imagine you're pretty confused about things. Try not to worry. We're safe. We're in an abandoned apartment on the planet of Terrace. I was able to drag you away from our crash site in all the confusion, and I stumbled into this.
Yeah, so she brought the little female companion. She brought a little finch as well, a little male finch, and he doesn't care. He's just real sweet. He just pretty little thing, but he's just real sweet. He just kind of hops around a little bit and then looks up at the other two birds and is like, "Ha, those guys aren't me." And then he hops around some more, and you know, his object permanence is fairly poor, but that's okay. He's a bird. He's real cute.
You don't have to thank me. I've never abandoned anyone. Terrace is under Sith control. I saw on your service records that you understand a remarkable number of alien languages. That's pretty rare in a raw recruit, but it should come in handy while we're stranded. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone through the Sith block.
It's a medium-large reptile. Okay, very nice. We only have one reptile in the family, and it's a beautiful little. She's a girl. Her name's Scarlet. I loved having a male canary. Oh, I bet the birds are so fun. We are out here in the country, and specifically in Texas, and so we have 6 dogs, 4 cats. Now we have 3 birds. I have the hiccups. 3 birds, and we have a snake, a beautiful little python named Scarlet. And that's about it right now. So we've got a lot of... Oh, and we have a little groundhog that I named Gopher, because he's a doofus. And he just pops in this little... He makes a little hole in his bedding and then pops right back out, and he's real cute. Very sweet.
That smacked your head, did more. Bastila is the key to the whole Republic. I believe Bastila is no ordinary Jedi. She has a rare through the Force.
Yeah, we love animals, though. We're huge fans of and advocates of animals. Most of ours are rescues. Some of ours are purchased, but a lot of ours are rescues.
Of course, there are limits to what she can do, but from what I understand of her ability, it requires great
okay, goodness.
To maintain her battle. The attack on the Endar Spire happens. Bastila's gonna need. Nobody will be looking.
Okay, so for anybody who's curious as to this particular aspect of the game, that's it. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, we just love animals. We like taking care of them. The dogs we have are almost all rescues. We have 2 dachshunds, so little wiener dogs, real cute little things. We have an Italian greyhound named Dobby. He's a little fragile thing, but he's very sweet, very cuddly. We have a little mutt mixed breed, but Maltese mix is what he is, named Deku. He's also very sweet, mid-sized pup. We have a little... Deku had gotten out of the fence at one point, and he went to go play with this other puppy, and this other puppy is a golden retriever, believe this or not, golden retriever chihuahua mix. And it's so he looks like a golden retriever, but he's the size of a chihuahua. He's very tiny, but he looks exactly like a golden retriever would. His name is Gavin. And then we have a beautiful wolf husky hybrid, which was also a rescue, named Sora. And Sora is the big puppy, and then the other ones are all pretty small. And then we have 4 cats. We have 4 cats. Biggest cat is about as big as the medium-sized dog, so he's about a 30-pound cat. He's pretty good size. He was my cat before we got married. His name was Fuzzy, and then the other 3, the other two of them she had, and then Willow we rescued together. And Willow's a perma kitty. She's 3 years old, but she's about the size of a little kitten. She got stunted. We just keep an eye on her. She's real sweet, though.
You mean besides? Good. I'm gonna need while you.
Okay, so for anybody who hasn't played this game before, just so that you know, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here.
Good idea. We can use some grim story, but I figure if we don't do.
There we go. For anybody who isn't familiar with this game, this first piece right here. Let's take a look. I don't think I really have. I think I have. Did I get a vibration cell? I think from my sword. Oops. Yes, I did. Okay. I have a tegu, a leopard gecko, a painted turtle, 2 elongated tortoises, and a little chihuahua. That's a great animal family. That's really neat. Game Pass ready to turn in. Okay. I don't guess I need that. Okay. So anyway, I'm sorry. The Good guy, Retro. Well, thank you. We love animals. We like we like a good swath of animals. It's nice, and then we're out here in the country where it doesn't really matter, and if somebody's not going to get taken care of, then we want to make sure that we help offer some of that. Fun fact also, I think the PC version of this and the console versions of this have a different voice actor for this Sith officer. So I guess I should make a point also to this, to the side of things, that if you take a look at, if you're looking for depth in terms of political depth, inclusivity, etc. Okay. Okay. I didn't get any dark side points for that, so. If you see me being randomly mean, it was determined that we would be dark side on this particular playthrough. So if you see me being unjustifiably mean, that's why. It's just to get the maximum dark side points. I'll explain some of the mechanics and such, but so the first part of this is if you take a look at the, I'll just bash it, I guess. If you take a look at the video game, you end up with this Taurus prologue. This prologue can take a little bit of time, and it's really just about getting used to the controls and all of that. So if you haven't seen it before, it's a lot of fun, but if you have seen it before, this can be the more tedious part, and then after this gets to be what, in my opinion, is the more fun part. I do enjoy this as well, though. I enjoy the music a lot. So I was explaining, I guess I should also explain, I have so many things to explain. I explained that this was my favorite game of all time, so I'm going to explain... No, don't bash. Just... There you go. Okay. Well, we'll bash then.
Sure.
The reason this is my favorite game of all time is about the time this game came out. I had the original Xbox. Yugoslav video game name, Retro Room, Omega, Heavy Waves, Thumb Bros, the movie Retro Ryan, Edwin, Leo of Althena. I think I read that. I might have probably read that wrong. And Gib84. Hey, Yugoslav, thank you for stopping in, bud. I really appreciate you. I've had the fortune of catching several of your streams as well. And so I really appreciate you for popping in too. And Celestial. Yeah, thanks so much for coming in. I had to take a little bit of an intermission earlier, so I really appreciate anybody who is willing to stop in post-intermission, or anybody who stayed through the intermission. It was a little bit more lengthy than I had anticipated it being, so. But thank you so much for coming in. I got to catch some really fun streams of yours. I really enjoyed, by the way, I gotta say, your Fire and Ice stuff has been fun, but I do have to say I really loved getting to be a part of your Tropical Freeze stream. Thank you so much for having me at that. That was a lot of fun. Music was great, everything was awesome, so. And you, obviously, I mean, it's a tough game and you rocked it, so. He's gonna explain,
Look, I know we're trying to...
Okay, I'm good. Okay. So anyway, this game came out a long time ago. This game, I say a long time ago. This game came out just 19 years ago, right? It came out in 2002. And I was, at that time, I was, and like I said, this will be the last time I tell the story. So if anybody's been on previous streams, they've heard the story. I'm not trying to bore anybody, but there's been a lot of new people that popped in that may not have heard. So I want to go ahead and make people aware of why I like this game so much. And the fact that it, A, is a very good game, but also I am very... alright, Dia. I can...
Who are you? What? You're as bad
I can actually just take you out, I think. I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
I can't help you there. Just one of David... I don't want to... Well, I suppose you seem Holden.
Okay, so really quickly, she's... And everyone else. Thanks, you too. Yeah, thank you. That's... yeah, no, thank you very much. I do appreciate that.
Wait. Think about what you're doing. If that pig had just kept his... He gets drunk and tries...
What's wrong with you?
Then you're going to learn.
Okay. So yeah, it's dark side points. Obviously, I don't agree. Everything also that I'm going to be doing, because because it was voted that I do a dark side playthrough in the end, I clearly wouldn't make these same choices were this a real life scenario. I would definitely have gone after the guy that messed with her, because that guy is scum. But because of me wanting to me having to do a dark side playthrough, I am going to be a little bit awful in game at least. So forgive me for that. So anyway, I at that point, at the point in time that this game came out, I had purchased the game. Nope, that's the hideout. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the thing. That's Kadir, the janitor. I started playing the game. I purchased it when it came out, and I started playing the game, and I got really sick. And I found out. I mean, this is a very, without displaying exactly how much, you know, I don't want to. I think it's fair for me to divulge that I'm in my 30s. I won't give any specifics, but to say I was at a decently impressionable point in my life at that time, and I started getting sick very frequently, and so I ended up having to spend a lot of time in the hospital, and found out that I had this is not life-threatening, but a life-altering condition. It's not necessarily something that will kill me, but it was something that was going to change the way I had to. It kind of changed the way that I had to live and act if I didn't want it to do more harm. And so I spent a lot of time in a hospital, and at that time the hospital had Xboxes that you could wheel in to play whatever games, and they said you can bring, you know, a game or two and you can play.
Says you missed.
Here, I've got it.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to do this awful thing and kill these extortionists, and then I'm also going to kill the other guy. It's an Aqualish. I don't like them anyway, because they're always the bad guys in these movies.
Oh, I can't pay.
Are you joking?
I'm getting out of it.
Okay, I do think that Karth also makes it so I can't I can't kill him, but I do get the dark side points for threatening him. Whoa, I don't know what that beeping was. Hey, Retro Room, working and lurking. Hey, chum. Thanks for popping in. Hey, I appreciate you just for being here. Thank you so much. I was actually just explaining the reason I love this game so much, so if you have heard it, my apologies. This will be the last time I tell the story, and if you haven't heard it, then at the same time, I appreciate you for listening. But I'm explaining why this is my favorite game of all time. It's Zelka Forn. I like his voice. He'll actually heal you for free.
Goodbye.
What I'm going to do, though, is going to be pretty dirty. I'm going to pick this door and show that he's a Republic sympathist.
On it. It's open.
What are you doing? Don't go in there.
You recognize the...
What? No.
Since the space battle overhead,
And-
the are terrible.
Well, for that you have my...
I hate to imagine.
No, it's not. The Sith would torture men like these or worse, and you're not threatening this...
Fine. Take these credits to seal your tongue, then leave this place.
Well, I understand some extra...
You've got your credits now.
Okay, there we go. It's such an awful thing to do. I extorted a doctor who's just trying to take care of these guys. He literally says in that he's trying to make their last days more comfortable. It's not even about whether he can save them or not. It's about making their last days more comfortable. I'm such an awful person in this. For you, chum, as well, I'm also letting you know that what I'm doing in the game is contrary to what I'd probably do in real life. It is a dark side playthrough, and so my character is going to be pretty despicable. It does not represent what I believe or what I would do were this a real life scenario. No, I'm not going to speak to Karth right now. I don't want to talk. Okay. So anyway, yeah, going back to what I was saying, this game came out around the time that I was at a fairly impressionable state, and at the same time had learned that I had a life-altering condition. Nothing life-threatening, nothing a big deal, and I'm not going to get into the details of what it is, just because it doesn't really matter. It's not who I am, it's just a thing that happened to me. But I did spend a lot of time at that point. I did spend a lot of time in the hospital, And because I spent a lot of time in the hospital, they had these Xboxes. They said you can bring a game or two. I brought this game with me, which at that time I hadn't really passed. It's 2002, the game had just come out, and it's a decently long game. And I played this game, and I played this game through and through, and then whenever I got tired and couldn't really, had to sleep or whatever, hold on one second. I cooked steak, and my wife says, "Can I has your steak?" Yes, you can. You can has. But anyway, so I had this game, and when I couldn't sleep, when I was there and I couldn't sleep, and it was kind of rough, I just sit there and I'd listen to the. I just sit there and listen to the music. I just sit there and listen to the. It was Manon theme called Auto City, and I just sit there and listen to it, and so there's so many good. It had a big impact on me at that point in time, just circumstantially.
Glad to see you. Good luck. No, of course. No sense in a youngster like you wasting your days away with...
There we go. So that's part of the reason that's a part of the reason I enjoy it so much, and that's why it has as much an impression as it had, and it remains to this day my favorite game of all time. I have it on cell phone, on Xbox, on anything you can have it on. Let's go ahead and talk to. Let's talk to her.
I haven't seen you around before. Of course, they don't give us Sith officers from the military base much time off. I'm off duty right now, so I'm not in.
I believe I can get her suit.
Surprised you're talking to me at all. Save the sympathetic best friend act. I'm not buying it. But I don't want to fill out a bunch of paperwork on my day off, so let's just.
Oh, goodness, got some water.
Back again? Didn't I make myself clear enough? The senior Sith officers don't like us fraternizing with them.
Okay.
It's okay. I might have over it. You're an off-worlder. It's like
I think I can do this without actually persuading her.
Permanent bad mood. Exactly, it's all about attitude. I didn't ask to be assigned to this backwater planet, but I try to make It's pretty easy to get depressed on an assignment like this. That's true. It's nice to meet. I have to get going soon. I'd really like to see you again. Why don't you drop by the party? Don't be late.
Okay, perfect. So there are a lot of little side quests. The main objective in this part is just to get off world. We're supposed to find Bastila and get the heck out of here, and that's it.
No hard feelings, my good man, but I can't really talk with you right now. It's surely you.
Oh, this was also really cool. One of the things that happens is depending on your on what gender you have different reactions. This guy doesn't like to talk to guys, but if you were a female character, he would actually interact with you. Whereas the lady would probably not at the very first. So they did have some different stuff that was going on. By the way, Bastila, freaking awesome. Oh, I don't like this little spoiled brat.
Where did you get those clothes? A trash compactor in the lower city? And where are those drinks we ordered?
She's just a spoiled brat.
Careful what you say.
Why is the help here so incompetent? How dare you speak to me like that?
All right, that's fine. But yeah, this game is a good example, I think, also of really awesome female characters. For anybody who's curious as to the female characters part of things, and because I think Rey was handled really weird and not particularly well. It's just girl on two fingers versus Deadeye Duncan. Can we? Can we go? Can we not? I know it's the required one, but I didn't figure it was required in all facets. All right, but so anyway, it was basically a great catalyst to that argument of that there were great female characters in this one. So we'll meet a couple of characters in this one that are awesome, strong female characters. Case in point would be Bastila, who is the kind of the main female protagonist here. She's kind of the one that the story revolves around. We'll also meet a Twi'lek named Mission and Cathar named Juhani. Oh, I can turn in a bounty.
Vibroblade.
Can you? Are you the one? No, wait. Okay, well, I don't think he wants that. Oh, yeah, no, he's not. Zach's who I need to talk to for that one. Okay, well, that's fine. Wait. We're gonna have trouble waiting for us outside, though. That spoiled brat's gonna have some bounty hunters on her left and right. We're gonna have to deal with. We'll take care of them, though. Boo. And then I kill him and she gets scared and runs away. Sadly, you can't take her out. She runs, but you can't do anything about it. I'm gonna chase her anyway, though, because I gotta go this direction anyway. So, I guess my question is to anybody who is a Star Wars fan out there. A lot of people have asked me questions about Star Wars. I'm going to ask one in turn. What is your favorite Star Wars content? Your favorite piece of content? And I'm looking for. It can be a single source of content, or it can be a single piece of content. But if you're a big Star Wars fan, what is your favorite? You know, maybe it's your favorite video game, maybe it's a movie that Star Wars you keep going back to, maybe you're a comic books fan and you've been reading the new High Republic stuff, or maybe you're a novels fan and you love the Legends stuff and you're maybe not a big fan of the new High Republic. What's some stuff that's coming out that has been out either recently or in the past that you find to be your go-to Star Wars content? I'm curious. For me, this game is probably a good one. If I really want to watch a Star Wars movie, though, I do find myself going either to episodes 3 or 5. 5 is my favorite, but 3 is remarkably good. Not everything's perfect, but my goodness. I know people will argue that, but I'm ready to argue back, because I like it. But if you don't like it, that's okay too. I think I can handle these 3 drunks down here too. I think they're just gonna try and threaten me. I think I can beat them up, but.
Shouldn't you go to Laura says you belong, Slummy?
Oh, this is rich.
Yeah, like he said, these streets are for upper city citizens.
Come on, fella.
Yeah.
Okay, that worked out. I didn't really want to fight them. I could get dark side points for it, but it's not really point in it. Another question is, if the Star Wars universe existed as this one does, and I understand realistically. Oh, I don't need anything from you, Janice. Not yet. Realistically, if the Star Wars universe did exist and you existed in that universe, would you be a Force user, a Jedi or Sith? Or do you see yourself as being one of the random worker, like just the kind of random people? It's always kind of fun to look at how different. I mean, obviously, reality is reality. It's really fun though. That's a Sith base. It's also really fun to look at the.
This elevator is off. It's obvious from the way you're dressed that you're not one.
All right, that's fine. I mean, obviously, reality is reality, but what part of it, I guess, do you enjoy the most? I think The Mandalorian has shown a lot of people. Been lurking, just helping my daughter with a Lego set. No worries, I appreciate you for being here, so no worries, I understand. How many pathetic Jedi have you killed so far on your path to the dark side, I hope? Yes, I have not killed any Jedi, I have not yet encountered any, but I've killed a lot of random innocent people. Random maintenance guy. Hacker. It's a really fun. I've killed a couple of innocent people for sure on my path to the dark side. There's no Jedi yet. No Jedi. If you've not played this game, I highly recommend it. I do. It's such a fun game. Oh, I guess I should make a big announcement. There aren't very many people here. I get that, and that's okay. I am almost at 100 subscribers. I should say this. I think I'm at 91. That firstly, 91 subscribers is monumental. That is a huge number of... alright, whatever. That is a huge... sorry, I saw Largo and then I immediately stopped caring about what was going on in that apartment. 91 subscribers is a tremendous... that's a huge number for someone like myself. That's a lot of people willing to have clicked a button saying, hey, at the very least, let me know sometimes this guy goes live. That's awesome. That is an amazing thing, and it's not lost on me. That also means that I'm 9 away from a milestone of my first 3-digit number, which is 100 subscribers. If it should happen that I hit the 100 subscriber mark, which I'm excited to hopefully do, I have a...
Hey.
There we go.
I was beginning to wonder if you were going to show. The parties, you have to try this Teresian ale. It's fantastic. We should have conquered this planet ages ago.
Careful, Sana. That wine's got quite the kick.
Who cares? We're not on duty tomorrow.
Alright, let's let them get drunk and take their stuff. There we go. That 2 steps is too many. Yes, yeah, no, I agree. I'm incredibly appreciative. But what I was getting at is I am going to hit I'm soon, hopefully, to hit the milestone of 100. No, I agree with you, too. I mean, you have one person that clicks on it, it means a ton. So the fact that there were 91 people out there that clicked on that little button and said, hey, on occasion, at least, let me know what this guy's doing. That's huge. So... what I'd like to do, I understand the feeling completely, but what I'd really like to do is, if I can, when we hit the 100 subscriber mark, I'm going to say this confidently, although if it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be disappointed. When we hit the 100 subscriber mark, I would like to, I think I got to kill Largo here. I would like to do a giveaway, and it's going to be...
Please don't hurt. Here.
I want to do a... Wait.
Here, take the credit. I know we might need credits, but there's got to be...
There is. I'm going to kill this guy and then take what's left.
What? But I already...
You can't tell Davik where I'm hiding with...
I don't even work for Davik. At this point in the game, I don't even know who he is. I get dark side points, though. You should have some stuff on you, though. Aha, you were holding out. You had 50 more credits. Okay, sorry. I am going to be doing a giveaway when I hit the 100 subscriber mark. Now, it won't be perfectly the day of that happens because it's complicated. But it will be shortly after I hit the mark. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And I think people are going to like the giveaway. So I'm going to let... Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I want to do. For anybody who is on the stream right now, or chooses to watch this stream through to this point, I'm going to go ahead and spoil what the giveaway is going to be. I'm not going to mention what the giveaway is otherwise. I'm not going to mention this is the point where I spoiled the giveaway. I will only, from this point after, refer to it as the giveaway. And that way it just leaves some mystery. It leaves some spoilers for some people that came in and might be interested in it, but it does leave some really neat spoilers for for some really neat kind of mystery for those who aren't. So when I hit the 100 subscriber, I wanted to do something unique. A lot of people are giving out... I've noticed this when it comes to giveaways. Oh my goodness. I moved my I knocked my stream decks out of the way. So I need to fix that. Up. There we go. Okay. So, the giveaway. I've seen a lot of people giving video games away. Video game controllers, accessories, etc. I think that's good. I think that's really fun. A good example, I think, would be Heaps. Heaps gave away some copies of Resident Evil. I was luckily a winner of one of those, and he actually goes out and he bought a bunch of copies for a bunch of different people, and I think that's awesome. I don't know that I will do it that way. I think I'm probably just going to do one massive giveaway, and then we'll see how things go beyond that. But in this massive giveaway, I'm going to be giving away, I hope you guys are ready, I'm going to be giving away an audio interface, XLR cable, USB cable, and a very nice professional grade microphone with shock mount so that they can be used at the leisure of a YouTube streamer, a YouTuber or streamer. I've noticed that my kind of random weird thing that I've done with this channel is games, but I've also... What am I doing? But I've also realized that a lot of people are giving games and game-related stuff away. And it's really hard when you come into a games... stream. Son of a gun. I gotta remember where I'm going. I'm talking, and I know where I'm going, but I'm talking at the same time. So yeah, so anyway, for anybody who ends up, we'll do it'll be a giveaway. It'll be a random raffle style giveaway, so there will be an element of luck that comes into it, because sadly I can't afford to give everyone one. It's a decently expensive prize package. So, it's a decently expensive prize package, and so it'll be a little bit. Yeah, it'll be a little bit tricky, but I've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people want good, clear audio, and that's one of their big things. And so obviously, if I had, the ability to, I'd give several out. I'd love to do that. I don't have that kind of money, sadly, and I don't have that kind of resource. So, what I will be doing... He's a racist, he's specious or racist against aliens. That's Tom Kane's voice, though. He plays Yoda in the Clone Wars. I'm gonna change right in front of this guard. He'll never know. See?
Down to the lowest. You better watch yourself.
Okay. So let me explain. Man, oh man. Yeah. So let me explain. I've been talking to a bunch of channels, and here's the thing that I find out. When it comes to gaming channels, most streamers have games, right? If it's a gaming channel, they have the games. So it's very difficult. I was watching Heaps, and Heaps is great, by the way. Heaps' giveaways were fantastic, and I was super excited to have been a part of it and gotten to win something. But a lot of people were saying, oh, I already have that, I already have that. I think every streamer out there is looking for the ability to make their streams cleaner and better and more fun and all this other good stuff. I don't think this is as good as my other armor, though. It's plus dexterity plus 8, defense plus... Yeah, I'm not as dexterous here, but I can take your hits better. Did I just die? Son of a gun. That's okay, it auto-saved there. Son of a gun. Okay, I'm gonna try that again, but without the stupid. Goodness sakes. Yeah, so anyway, I think a lot of channels trying to say this, and I can't get it out because of this. Okay, I'm gonna pause it in just a second because of the... Okay, this is the biker gang equivalent, by the way. The biker gang's equivalent. The Hidden Becks and the Black Vulkars. Okay. I'm going to pause just for a second there. Also, I can use that auto level up. When you level up or auto level up, it automatically heals you all the way. So if you're looking at me and you're going, well, you don't have a lot of health, that's why. I actually think I can use a med pack real quick from here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so yeah, if once we hit 100, if we hit 100, I will be putting every one of my verified subscribers at that point onto a wheel, or into a drawing, right? Something random. I'll make sure that I know what mechanism I feel comfortable using, and that I feel that it's truly random, and that people feel it's fair. I will do that. And then once I do that, that'll literally be a 1 in 100, 1 in 101 chance, right? Of course, that's a pretty good sized chance, but the prize is pretty big. So I'd like everyone to have an opportunity to win the prize, right? I will, once we actually hit 100, I will make a formal announcement. I'll show what everything looks like and let everybody know. But for now, until this point, until we hit 100, I'll just let people know about, quote-unquote, the giveaway. So this is going to be the only point until the reveal of the actual video past 100 subscribers that I will let people know what I'm giving. But I will be giving an audio interface. Now, specifically, I'm going to give one of my favorite simple audio interfaces. It's the Scarlett 2i2 by Focusrite. So it's a 2 XLR interface. It's very well built, metal built. It allows for 2 microphones, one left, one right channel, or you can do them both as mono channel. So they both are in both ears, with individually adjustable volumes and gains, as well as some different switches to make some adjustments. I'll be including a USB cable. You can hook it into any computer or laptop. The interface will actually take care of a majority of the work. So your computer, even if it's an old Windows 95, it'll be able to handle this. This interface will take care of it, so no worries. The XLR cable is an XLR cable. There's not really much more I can say about that. And a microphone. And the microphone is one of my favorite microphones out there for the price range, which is the AKG P220. Now, here's a little thing. I will go ahead and get a little thing. I like the AKG P220 a lot. I am debating, and this may be switched up in the end, those are great interfaces for beginners, for sure. Absolutely. Well, there's no real reason to have and my thinking about it was streaming. A lot of people don't really want a big mixer interface. They just want something that's easy to adjust and use and give them an XLR capability. And I think that'll be really good. So I use a little bit more advanced interface, but I don't feel like most people care to do that. I think they just want it to work, and I understand that. So that's why I'm not doing something bigger than that. But it's $150 interface, so it's definitely not an inexpensive, I'm not doing a Behringer interface. Behringer interfaces are a little rough. I am debating on one of 2 microphones. One of my favorite microphones in the world as a beginner microphone, so to speak, and it's not a cheap microphone. It's a $150, $200 microphone. But is the AKG P220. I really love the way it sounds. It's nice and balanced. It's nice and level. The voice comes through really well. If you're familiar with how to mix, or if you're familiar with how to make adjustments or EQ, you're welcome to do that, but it's a nice flat frequency response. I really like that one, or I'm debating on getting a Neat King B for the winter. That's one of my favorite unheard of mics. It's really weird looking, but it sounds amazing, and it's got a really low, I think it's a 5 or 6 decibel self noise, which I highly recommend. So I'm debating on which one of those I'll do, but by the time we hit that, I'll know. And you'll have a nice audio interface. It is a nice audio, the full interface, the full thing. So I hope that's worthwhile. I don't think there are very many people that would...
Yes, what's on your mind?
Whoops.
Me? Well, I've been a star.
I didn't actually mean to talk to Karth, because the Volkers here seem to be interested in killing me. But actually, they're more interested in Karth's story. I can't pause it, so never mind. I would love to try out a Go XLR. I'd like to have more control of my volumes and switches instead of an application doing it. I can understand that, yeah. I don't use it, so I don't use a Go XLR just for one audio person to another. I'm using the Presonus AR12, and it's this beautiful mixer that was able to pick. I haven't been able to look up that one, the B one. Yeah, it's called the King B. I highly recommend you take a look at it. It's a very weird looking microphone, but it sounds incredible. And it's a beautiful low noise microphone. But it's by a company called Neat, N-E-A-T, Neat King B. It's about $100 microphone. And for as good as it sounds, that's actually not an expensive microphone for as good as it sounds. I think the microphone with the specs that it boasts and the sound that it boasts could easily sell for 3 times the price. So it's not me trying to cheap out. It's me saying I love the sound of this microphone on most voices. These are microphones that I've heard on multiple voices that I thought sounded good on most voices. There are definitely, like I use AKG C214s for my side mics. Those are a little bit more niche, I feel. I feel like those are better for people with deep voices, like my brother or Andreas, who's on the channel occasionally. And then the one that I have is the Neumann TLM 103, which is I can't afford to get everybody one of those. I'd love to, but it's just way too expensive. So, but the P220 and the Neat King B, I think, are really great microphones that I think sound really good on most people's voices, and I think most people would agree with it. And they're really great. I use a Presonus AR12, a bunch of knobs and switches and faders on it. And the only reason I got it's about a $799 interface. But yet again, I shopped online and got it with 3 sets of headphones and a headphone mic for $130 from a gentleman in the Northeast, I believe, of the United States. So I got lucky.
I'm just a soldier. No, I know. You probably mean well with your question. I'm more used to taking.
So now I can level this up, and I can actually prevent... I'll wait on the skills. And then feats... I'm not going to use a blaster, so there's no really point in that. Gearhead. No, I need to implant. There we go. Implant level 1 is what I'll do. Because then I can get, like, poison immunity and stuff. Concussion immunity and all that good stuff. There's one other guy down there. He's coming. I was going to throw a grenade at him. Just blindside him. That went a heck of a lot better than I anticipated. Than the previous time. Let's go ahead and save the game. So yeah, Go XLR is really nice. It's I think it's like $400 or $500 for it. But the problem I had with it is it only gave you 4 XLR inputs, and I needed more. I had an episode where I had 7 people here, and I needed at least 7 microphones, and so this one actually gives me 14 inputs, but generally it gives me 8 XLR. There we go. 8 XLR, and then I have several 1/4-inch ones that I can use as well if I decide to, if I have a dynamic or dynamic mic setup, but I don't usually use dynamic, and 8's plenty. So yeah. But that's the idea. I feel like that people would like that. I feel like a lot of people are using random... I'm going to go ahead and come into Javier's Cantina. I feel like a lot of people are just kind of using microphones that they hear about online and all this other stuff, and then I found out from several of them that they were like, oh, I don't really like the microphone, or I don't like the way this sounds. And I had a couple of great people. Retro Ryan was a good example. He was awesome. Thumb Brothers has talked to me about it. Omega's talked to me about it before. Just the desire to have good sounding, clean sounding audio. And so I want to offer somebody a chance to have very good and clean sounding audio. There are also people out there though that are great streamers that don't have microphones or that don't use sound. Yugoslav was that guy, by the way. If you talk to him, you get 3 times, and if you talk to him 3 times, he just kills you. There's no winning it. You just auto die. Yugoslav, I believe. I'm not sure if you're still in the chat, but like your channel, you have a great channel. But I've never heard you talk, so I don't know if you just don't have a microphone, but I'm hoping that this could be an opportunity to give you one. Celestial, same situation. Even if you're using a... Chum's here still. Okay, well, good. I think it sounds like a good giveaway. Good. I'm so happy. I hope it is. I want somebody to be able to have... I wish I could afford to give everybody one that I know has shown interest. In your opinion, is the Yeti janky for its price? That's a tough question. I've heard people use the Yeti... Shoot. How do I say this? I've heard people use the Yeti and make it sound really good. I really have. But the Yeti is usually... I think the boxed Yeti is $179.99, I think. If it comes with the game download in it or whatever, and it's $129.99 if it doesn't, something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. How do I explain? It's not bad for an all-in-one price. If you're not wanting to have the complexity, didn't mean to be so absent, by the way, been recording some Jedi Fallen Order. No, don't worry about it. Jedi Fallen Order. I was saying that I'm giving this kind of a bubble right now. I'm talking about a giveaway that I'm looking to do once I hit 100 subscribers, and so that's what it was. I purchased a Yeti, but need to set it up. You set it, and my webcam up. So here's the thing. I like the Yeti. I think the Yeti's a good microphone for an all-in-one solution. This is my personal opinion, so if you don't like it or if you disagree, that's perfectly okay. I've had two Yetis, and they're great microphones for a couple of things, and then there are things I don't like about them on the other side, so I'll kind of go over both. If you know how to add a noise gate to the Yeti, and you're going to be close to it, decently close, and when I say close, the microphone test, the voiceover test for microphone is taking your hand... take your dominant hand, right or left, either one, and stick your thumb out like you're giving a thumbs up. Now stick your pinky out like you're giving the hang 10 sign, right? So your fingers 1, 2, and 3, right? Pointer finger, middle finger, and ring finger are down, but your pinky is up and your thumb is up. Touch your thumb to your nose, and then touch your pinky to the microphone. That's about as far as you're supposed to be away from the microphone. You're almost at 100, man. Well deserved. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to try and give something back, and in the giveaway, it means so much. I don't know how I can give to everybody, so I feel bad that I can't do that. But it's I've been thinking for a while about how I could show my appreciation. I want to do something special. I will say this too, AR. If it's okay, I'll talk with you offline about something special I have in mind or would like to do. And of course, you're one of my mods. You've been gracious enough to be one of my mods, so I'd like to discuss something with you, maybe offline a little bit in Twitter. Just an idea I have, something I'd like to do if that's okay at some point. I have no idea at all about microphones. I'm gonna need one though, especially if I want to start podcasts and stuff. I'm so clueless with any of this stuff though. What happened? Oh, that's fine. I'd be happy to help if we're gonna go through this again. Xbox. Okay. That sounds cool. Yet again, if you don't want it, that's perfectly okay. But if you have questions or need anything, let me know. You know how to get a hold of me, and whatever way is most comfortable. Get a hold of me. Let me know what you want to know about and what you need, and I'll happily help in any way I can. I'd love to do that. Oh, so Yeti. I was talking about the Yeti. I'm sorry, chum. I didn't mean to get off topic. So. The rule of microphones is if you're going to be talking, the little hang 10 sign, so pinky out, thumb out, the other three fingers are down to a fist, touch your thumb to your nose, touch your pinky to the microphone, and that's about how far you want to be if you're speaking decently loudly. And if you're speaking a little bit more quietly like I do, you just make a fist, touch the knuckle of your forefinger to your nose, and Dreamcast, turn on Xbox. Everything's voice activated. Switch, blow up. My Xbox has this awful habit. I have so many digital games in it as well as physical, but digital are the ones that cause me problems because my Xbox decides to schedule these random updates and go, oh, here's 1,000 things that you don't want to play right now that need to update. Anyway, make a fist. Touch your forefinger, the knuckle of your forefinger, sideways, right? Turn your knuckle sideways, and touch the side of your forefinger to your nose, and then touch the outside of your pinky to the microphone. And if you're talking quiet like I am, that's about as far as you want to be away from the microphone. So if you've got the Yeti and you're planning on being about that close to it, maybe just a little bit farther away, and you know how to use a noise gate through OBS or through Streamlabs, the Yeti can actually be a really good sounding mic. It's a great sound for the price. The problem I had with it is I have so many things hooked into the computer that I use that the USB cables that you get, which go into USB microphones, are not shielded, and I'd get this nasty hum / buzzing sound because it was around these other electronics. And it kind of drove me wild, so that's why I didn't opt for it. And that's kind of why I moved away from USB microphones. But it's not a bad microphone. And it's $130 for a Yeti. If you want an inexpensive alternative in the XLR realm, you would need to buy a Scarlett Solo, which would be my recommended single XLR interface. It's about $100. You need an XLR cable. Even a basic XLR cable is about $15 to $20. You need a USB cable with the interface. You'd get that. And you'd need the microphone, and the microphone's going to be $100. Audio-Technica AT2020 is a great starting microphone. My favorite starting would be the Neat King B, which is also about $100 to $120, and the AKG P220, which is about $150. So you're actually spending $120 versus $250. So there's definitely a lot of give and take. But if you got a Yeti, I think you can absolutely make it sound great. And if ever, same situation. I'm on Twitter. I do have private messages, direct messages. If you ever have questions and you want any sort of potential help, feel free to message me. I'm happy to at least try and answer a question for you as best as I can. So. Heavywave says, I'm not super savvy with audio. I enjoy it and just go based on what I like to hear. I need to go back and fix my volumes. Hey, that's the one I have, the AT2020. Audio-Technica makes a really beastly microphone. They do. The AT2020, in my opinion, is a nice sounding microphone. It's a really nice sounding starter mic. The reason I personally like that, well, I like that one a lot. There are lots of give and take. I like the Neat King B because it's hefty. And self-noise is a big factor for me. Self-noise is the when you plug a microphone in, the amount of hiss that your microphone makes automatically. And the Neat King B, I think, like I said, has a -5 or -6. That's really low, by the way. The Neumann that I'm speaking into has a -5, I think, which is that you normally are going to pay a lot of money for that. Most microphones are between -11 and -23. This is pretty loud, by the way. I like to try and stay around at -15 or less if I can. And the AKG P220 does that with a -13, and then the Neat King B a -5 or 6. So that's one of the things I like. But USB microphones typically are going to be a little louder just because they don't have the shielding. Alright, I just made 700 credits. Cool. Yeah, Audio-Technica makes some really great microphones. I think they're 40-20 or 40-40, something like that. Is a really nice, I think it's like a quad diaphragm mic. It's really interesting. But anyway, great microphones. Audio-Technica's got some good stuff. I'm a big fan of Audio-Technica stuff. Neumann is kind of the granddaddy of microphones in my experience, but Audio-Technica does definitely make some great stuff.
I told you to leave me alone. So give me some space, Bug-Eye. Your breath smells like Bantha Poodoo. Who you calling little girl, Tuba Face?
She is 14.
Quit complaining.
I like Zolbar. I like how you don't really ever see. I mean, there are certainly ones. Clone Wars does it, but in the old games, you never saw Rhodians that were good guys. Really, all the Rhodians were just kind of scum. And then you have, and all the Wookiees were just kind of good guys. They do a really good job in the Clone Wars of showing bad guy Wookiees, I think, and good guy Rhodians. It's really neat.
Say, I don't recognize you, and I know pretty. It's not that strange.
You showed a lot of guts dealing with.
My name's Mission Bea.
Yep.
We just kind of fell in together.
So we noticed.
When I met up with Zalba. You going? Yeah.
All right.
Can't you think about something besides your stomach for 5 minutes? Come on. We'll go see if there's anything good to eat at the Beck base.
Yeah, but he did just order food. I mean, he just ordered food and he was happy to eat and everything. And then that's, yeah. So just to be completely fair, and I give credit each time, and I feel like that it's not any less due. As a matter of fact, it's more due each time. With microphones, I have the fortune of being longtime friends with a friend of mine. For the sake of not disclosing everything, his name is Aaron, but I won't say his last name just in case. And he is a professional audio engineer. It's what he does. He's always been very passionate about audio and how it sounds.
My loyal. Well, besides, it's not like you could go in and speak.
Okay. And he's helped me a lot in learning about the equipment side of it, and as well as learning the back end of it. And I still don't know near as much as he does, but I at least have developed a more refined ear and a more refined taste because of it. So, and hopefully that translates. I say that I'm giving him credit in that, not trying to bolster myself, but and hopefully it comes through when you hear my streams or when you hear my talking. Hopefully everything sounds nice and balanced and clear and good and pleasant to the ear. I hope so. But yeah, the AT2020 is a great mic. I really like it. It's not a bad mic at all. So yeah, you're spending $130 yet again besides for an XLR setup. Sorry, for a full USB setup versus having to buy an XLR interface and a microphone for $250. I think it'll sound really good.
They might be spies, Gaiden.
So, if you were concerned or worried or excited, either one, chum, I think that's. I think you've got a great. I think you've got a great mic.
I still think
She's too I'm afraid your friend has become a pawn.
Your audio is what caught my attention. Well, thank you. I use the microphone. I've discussed the microphone and the interface, and then I have it on a boom arm, and that boom arm is about. I made the symbol of the. Your audio is good, man. Makes mine sound like I'm slinging a cat against a trash can. No, that's not true at all. Your audio is nice and clear. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. In fact, your audio is great. My giving away a microphone and interface is not because I feel like everybody is needing to improve. It's because in all the conversations that I've had with streamers and content creators, either they didn't have a microphone or they didn't have an interface or something that they liked the way that they sounded on it. And so I felt like that was the most universal thing that I could potentially give back, and that would make people that would be good for people. But because I can't afford to give everybody one, I have to make it part of a giveaway. If I could literally buy 100 of them up and do it, I would. But that's after everything's said and done, that's about $3,000 that I just can't. Rate My Audio, new series by Retro Room. I could do that. I mean, it would, but I don't think anybody needs it. I have so much fun. Let me be completely fair. Let me be completely honest. The audio doesn't really. If it's my channel, yes, I'm very picky about it. Nobody's audio bothers me. Even if you're just talking into an old headset mic, I come to your channels because I have fun with your channels. Your audio is not bothering me. So if that's ever a thing you're like self-conscious about, like, I come to your channel because you guys are awesome, because your content's awesome, because your personality's awesome, and because I enjoy all of that. Your audio is so long as I can understand what you're saying and react back, I'm fine with it. I don't care. I don't want to seem like a snob. I certainly don't, because I don't. That's not how I think. What Retro doesn't tell you is that he DM'd me saying, "Listen to this." You. No, I've never done that. Never said anybody sounded like trash.
You really don't don't have any. The swoop rate, but first, but the Vulkars.
So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to call this a stream pretty quickly. This is kind of the slow part of the game, but I've had a ton of fun getting to talk with you guys and getting to play KOTOR. It's still, as slow as it seems right now, it's still a ton of fun having not only gotten to talk with you guys, but also getting to play this game again. I adore this game. I'll do this. This is the slow prologue. They do it in both games, so... Poor AR. No, I would never tell him that. If there was something wrong with the audio, let me be clear. If there was something wrong with the audio and I couldn't understand him, I might come back and say, hey, I can't understand you. I'm hearing a popping or a crackling or you're cutting out. I would never say anything, though, like that. I'd never call anybody's audio trash. The fact that people... Here's my opinion. If you're a streamer, a content creator, or any combination of those two things, and you're putting content out there, that right there is already 3,000 steps above 90% of the people that are you know, sitting around watching YouTube. A lot of those people aren't really putting the content out there. If your content is consistent in some regard, once a week, once a month, that's 10 times even more, right? And I have a ton of respect for people that are willing to do any one or either one or both of those. So no, I would never do that. That would never be...
Your best bet is to...
I'd never do that.
Simple luckily my gang, since we're working.
That's fine.
Good choice. Your time would...
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna get lost. AR, I can't understand you. No, it's not the audio, but... No, that's not true. That's not true at all. So I will say this. But now that you mention it, I made a mention of this a while back. I used to have a remarkably thick Southern accent. My family is in Texas, and parts of my family are in Louisiana, and parts of my family are very heavily accented Southern states. So my own accent. Whoops! I'm not gonna mess with you. Not yet, at least. You gonna run after me? Nah, you're fine. So I actually had for a long time. It was about 2009, I guess. I had a pretty thick Southern accent, and a mishmash of different various accents that had been acquired firstly from my own uprising and upbringing, and as well as other people's accents who had impact on me from business conducted or so on and so forth, you know. Really? This is the ambush? Alright, no. I'm just throwing a grenade. Throw the grenade, me. Sheesh. Did Karth just die? Grenade again. Also grenade. Stab my leg, thank you. Stab my leg again. Hold on 1 second, sorry, I got, The shock sticks actually pack a pretty nasty punch. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try and take this guy out. This guy is actually not doing me any kind of good. Come on, no, leave me alone. Leave me alone. There we go. Two weapons fighting, you take a penalty to your offhand until you've maximized your skill all the way. So fighting with fighting a one-handed dueling weapon, you don't take a penalty, you get a boost. So if you fight a one dual weapon versus another weapon, two-handed weapon, then they're taking a penalty inevitably. They're not going to win. Okay, sorry. No, so yeah, I had a fairly thick Southern accent, a mishmash of ridiculous Southern accents, and it was in a job that I had with a gentleman who had another accent. He was a Hispanic gentleman who had a fairly thick Hispanic accent. He couldn't really understand what I was saying, and I was having trouble understanding what he was saying, and it was us understanding each other was tantamount to success because we were both leaders of this particular company. And it was very important that we were able to communicate effectively with each other verbally. And so that was his thing. He worked to try and make it a little bit... I tried to work so that I didn't have as much of an accent, and it's the same for him, so that we could kind of understand each other a little better. And And ever since, I've attempted to keep a fairly neutral accent so that if the time ever came where I had the fortune to speak with people who had other accents that vary from mine, I would kind of be Microsoft Sam, and, you know, you could understand me no matter where you were. And by equal measure, because I wasn't asking for him to... Wait a minute. Undercity. Dang it. I know what I need to do. I forgot that. By equal standards, I endeavored to understand as easily as I could, or as best as I could, other people's accents, because it's not fair for me to ask them to not speak with an accent that they're born with. It's better that I just learn how to understand it and work with it. And your accent is not at all difficult to understand, AR. Not at all. No, but I have my papers. Why didn't you say? Just be careful down there. Yeah, I'm gonna go down there real quick. So anyway, that was the thing. It was kind of a fun It was kind of a funny circumstance that ended up happening. But I worked harder to understand him, and he worked really hard to try and make it easier for me to understand. And then vice versa, I had to do the same to him. I had to try and make it easier so that he could understand me. I felt really bad for him. He was a really nice guy. But he and I just we couldn't understand each other for a time there. So, and we eventually got through that, and he could understand me, and I could speak well, and I worked to understand him. I didn't ask him to. He flat out, he said, "You're gonna have to change the way you speak," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Because I can't understand it, so. All right, I still got grenades. Isn't there a rumor that this game is getting a remake/sequel? There is. There's a rumor that it is getting a sequel. I have not yet heard of a remake, but I would love if they did what they did with Mass Effect. I would love if they would come out with a new one and then opt to put the trilogy in, you know, an HD remaster of the trilogy in there.
Ah, so you want to play this the hard way? Okay.
And comes in Canderous.
I knew you boys were too bad.
I was looking forward to crack.
Canderous is awesome. He's a Mandalorian. This is before... So the story, just so people know, I guess I should say. This one? I don't think it's here. I think it's over there. Alright, have a good rest of your stream. Need to head out and do a couple returns. Take care, everyone in the chat as well. Yeah, Heavy Waves, thanks for coming in, bud. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was fun getting to have you in here, and like I said, I really appreciate you for checking it out. I'm excited to get to hopefully be a part of your future streams, and hopefully see you some more in some of mine. So thank you. I know BioWare made it. Did EA publish it? Karth, did you just fall over? So this one was... No, this was before LucasArts was dissolved. So LucasArts got dissolved in 2012 or 13. LucasArts was dissolved in 2012 or 13. And as a result, the games got published by... Had to find publishers. Star Wars games had to find publishers. So this was actually published by LucasArts prior to... Hold on there, Civet. Unless you've got the... I do. I got him. Let me see. The Undercity is crawling with mutants. Oh, I know. They're frustrating, too. They'll poison you. Yeah, so anyway, LucasArts published its own... I'm sorry. LucasArts published its own games back then. So this time it was BioWare developed and then LucasArts published. Disney decided to dissolve that, and that was a little bit of a frustrating. So I think this is where I'm gonna call it. Hold on, I'm gonna threaten him. He's gonna say, "Run, my brother, flee this one's wrath."
Run, my brother! Flee this one's wrath!
Go on, you two, get out of here! I'm sorry.
I'm sure you...
Okay.
My name is
Yeah, I know. I don't have time. So I'm going to do some really messed up stuff, sadly, to these people. But I think I'm going to call it a stream right here. This is a nice long stream. I had a lot of fun doing it. I did some retro in it. I was able to participate in Thumb's challenge. Didn't do very well, but I expected I probably wouldn't. Played a little bit of Mario retro and then got to start a little bit of the Star Wars stuff, which I thought was super fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I just liked this game a lot, and getting to speak with you guys. I am super excited about the giveaway. I'm super excited to get to interact more with you guys and give back to you guys as well. Thanks for the stream, Retro Room. Thank you for being here, chum. I really appreciate it. Hopefully my insight on the Yeti was somewhat helpful, but I think it's going to sound great. I think it's going to be awesome. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody being here, talking with me, taking time to, everybody's got busy schedules. I really appreciate all the support that everybody's been willing to throw out in my direction. So anyway, I'll go ahead and start wrapping things up. I'll go ahead and transition over to the ending, put some nice music on. If anybody happens to have any requests, questions, or need anything, of course, I'm happy to be as much a resource as I can. Definitely reach out to me on Twitter directly. I will go ahead and plug, I feel like it's somewhat necessary. If you don't know, I do another channel where I get to share a lot of my experience in cards. Sorry, put a little music on there. I get to share a little bit of experience that I have in decades of card manipulation, card cheating, and performance. I have a blast getting to perform for people, especially with cards. It's something I've been very passionate about. So if you get a chance, it's Mekanos Cards, Mekanos Kards. Definitely feel free to go and check that out if you're just looking for a performance, something to be, it's entertaining, it's intended to be entertaining for you at least, I hope, as well as if you have a TikTok, same situation, Mekanos Cards. I'm doing short little 15-second to 1 minute long little card trick performances. Thanks for the Star Wars suggestions, by the way. I appreciate that. I hope that those are helpful. A lot of fun stuff in there. And if you ever decide you want to narrow that down even a little bit more, and I kind of gave you a plethora, but if you're interested in narrowing that down a little bit more to like my absolute favorites, I'll do that. I'm happy to. But yeah, I should be live. I'll try to be live once a week as the Retro Room. I'll try to be live once a week as Mekanos Cards if possible, and then I'm going to try to start doing these little TikTok performances maybe once every other day or once a day, just depending on how frequent I can. Little performances, little fun bits. But like I said, I really appreciate it. I mean, no matter what stream, no matter what content I'm bringing, it's not worth anything if I don't have great support from people like yourself. It's just really out there for me, and so I'm really happy and really honored that I have such great supporters. AR, if it's okay, I will be getting with you shortly after this, just to let you know what I'd like to do and kind of get your take on it. And so if it's all right, I'll send you a message. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and hopefully we will see you guys a little bit later.